And then this, I need to announce to the Discord that I'm live. That's part of the process here. Okay, and I've refreshed the slots. Great. Don't do the same mistake last time where I reviewed Tuesday deck reviews on Sunday. Hello. Hello, everyone. Sorry, I did just wake up recently. So, I'm still waking up a little. But you know what woke me up is Scrandle. Waffle fries. I imagine the beer's included. I'd much rather have that for another pound. Crab sandwich or sandwich poulet mayo. It's probably the crab sandwich with garlic fries, right? I'd pay 10 more pounds for that. The Hawk Tua burger or chicken bites and chips. Once again, I do not like burgers that are this large. How the fuck are you supposed to bite this? If you have to do like a CPR maneuver to get your burger edible, like you have to press down on it, it's not good. That being said, it does look better than this. I don't know, this isn't that bad though. I'm not that offended by the chips and chicken there. Frozen strawberries with ice cream for $4 or pie, chips, peas, and gravy. Well, people are allergic to British food, so it's probably the strawberries. Popcorn chicken or hockey porky bowl. Fuck off. What an awful name. I'll get the hockey porky bowl. I think the beer is kind of tempting, and it's waffle fries, and then on the right is just the pork bowl with cheese. Honestly, these are both fine. It's kind of a toss-up, but I think the beer wins. Clam chowder and a sourdough bread bowl with a fucking like anime waifu raccoon girl in it. Or katsu dirty fries. Well, it's probably gonna be the clam chowder. Although that is $12 versus 5. This just doesn't look that appetizing. It's fine. I would not be mad getting this at a game, but I would love the clam chowder more. And that's I think the anime girl ruined it. But I don't think that comes in the order. I think someone's just an insane. Bratwurst or meatball and bame with curry ketchup fries. It's probably the one on the right. But a $2 brat is like kind of good. That's kind of good. Any exciting decks this week? I don't look at the decks before I review them. That always surprises some people. But I review them live. I think it's more earnest that way. Sausage and red Leicester cheese roll or nachos. Probably the cheese roll that looks awesome. It's a cheese roll. It's not made entirely out of cheese, Red Nova. It's a roll made of dough, and there's cheese inside of it. Zenthis, thank you for starting a scam train. I also see that Panic Shaggy also subscribed to help cause that. No, I meant the nachos. I see. Currywurst, pommes frites, Rocky Mountain oysters. Well, if you know anything about Rocky Mountain oysters, you would not be clicking on this one that enthusiastically as a general person. This is just biblical greed. We're putting a pie and like bread. This is just so many carbs. A can of Stella, 14 pounds. Okay, never mind. I've talked too lowly of you. Steak pie in a roll. Meat pie that looks slightly burned with a Coke. Or $1, probably pretty good, pasta de carne. I disagree with the clam chowder. I think people just don't like that this guy stuck a little anime waifu in it. I would prefer to have the clam chowder, even if it's double the price. Is that insane? I don't think that's that nuts. A bread bowl with chowder? This would be good. I would not be mad about buying this. I would be if they stuck a little fucking plastic thing in there, but that's user error. The person who took the photo put that in there. I would not trust clam chowder from a stadium. Not even like Boston. You wouldn't trust the clam chowder from like somewhere like Wrigley Field in like not Boston, let's say. Let's go to Wrigley. You wouldn't trust the clam chowder from there. That's like where it spawns, bro. You wouldn't trust it from there? Drag Queen in Space, thank you for the tier 1, by the way. Y'all are just germaphobes. I'm sorry. Live a little. Elk, how many hair apparents are needed for a hair apparent deck? It depends. Elk, you should do paid custom card reviews like Mauled. I used to do them with Mauled. And then Mauled decided to do it with other people other than me because he hates me. No, I think he just decided to go solo with that. And honestly, not here to steal the thunder. But I've thought about it from time to time, but like, I don't know. I just don't want to like overlap too hard with Mauled because I've already kind of stolen this from Mauled. Anyway, we have 3 deck reviews for the same person today. So I'm wondering how we should space these out. What? Theft is based? Same person, Laval? You know, sometimes you have multiple decks you want to get reviewed. That's fine. Whatever. So they giving me money. So I'm wondering, do we just want to go through? I'm kind of fine with it because they bought the deck reviews like 2 days in. It's like, dog, if you didn't get a deck review already, you had your chance. It's not like they're bought out like the millisecond they're open. Yeah, they've given me money for each of them, so they will get reviewed. I'm just wondering if we space them out or if we get them all done back to back. Well, first things first, is Just Rack here? Because if not, of course, we're not going to put them first. We will be doing them later in the stream. But if they are here, we could just get it all done. In the meantime, do we have Unreclusive, Eli, or Tony? Hey, Tony, give me a commander deck with nothing. Okay, it does not appear that Tony is here yet. Eli, Unreclusive. Because none of these say I can do it without them. I will be present. Probably. If not, I would still like to be there to answer questions stuff, so maybe we reschedule. Sorry, I was on YouTube. Okay, hang on. Let me make sure I'm logged in on YouTube. Yes, I'm connected to both, so I should be seeing YouTube comments. Eli here. I see you. Okay, great. So let's do Eli first then. And then, great. Eli first and foremost. Rakdos walls. Okay. Well, color me fucking curious what's happening here. I mean, the name of the deck is very descriptive of what is happening here, but... The deck's entire game plan is to drain people out with cards like Jaws of Defeat or one-shot people with Soul Immolation and high toughness walls. To each opponent, I see. I've had this deck for about 1.5 years, and it used to be a secret commander with Blight Pile. No real... I was figuring, like, do we have Blight Pile in here? And in fact, I don't think Blight Pile still is in here. I think you've cut it, which is fair. Because I don't see a lot of Blight Piling happening. It was probably too slow, right? I'm really bad at self-evaluating decks, and I'm mainly looking to get this put into a bracket. I want to try and make it a bracket too. I play with a regular pod, and they think this deck is doing more than I think it does. I've one-shot the table with Tree Perdition and Soul Immolation before, and I just don't know where the baseline is. I'd put Duretti in the command zone if I could. And then the Moxfield Link. Okay, so. Godspeed, Bango Scrumpus. You're my strongest warrior for sure. So. I imagine. So, okay. We have Marvin and we have Tree of Perdition. So I hear. No, Tree Perdition got cut. No, it's here. So this is maybe a little fast. I mean, okay. Deep breath. Let's talk. This combo is, in my opinion, very bracket 3 or up. It's not really bracket 2 or up. I wouldn't expect a precon of sorts to have the answer to Marvin on turn 2, Tree of Perdition on turn 4, regardless of how funny it is. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a sideboard. And the sideboard will be the, like, here's how to make it bracket 3 easily pile. And I think Marvin's a little much. I think Soul Immolation Tree of Perdition is fine. This is okay. It's on the edge, but it's okay. Marvin, I think, is just too fast, too consistent with the Tree of Perdition. Like, this one a Pioneer tournament. Like, Pioneer's not a real format, but still, like, having a tournament record is, like, a little bit on the edge of 3 and 2. More so than this is here. But I do love this combo a lot. I think we could get better things than Gamble. So we just have 0 game changers. That's the only reason why I'm cutting Gamble. It's not like Gamble's a bad card. It's more of a bracket kind of thing. All 3 Pioneer players are going to be upset you said that. Exactly. I kind of want to just explore the walls and defenders that we're not playing. And then... Oh my god. I'm so out of it. My fingers aren't working. I do like Concealing Curtains. This card's a lot of fun. Reveals their hand. Because I'm kind of into the idea of making this like a red flicker deck with Jaxus. So, when it comes to Blight Pile, did you just find that this was too slow? Didn't work well with Jaws of Defeat? Like, what can I get a little word here, Eli? I imagine that's what that yeah was earlier, is that you just felt like it was kind of too slow. Which I could believe. I could certainly believe that this was too slow for you. Yeah, couldn't get enough defenders out for it. Okay. Yeah, I could buy that. I'm gonna just drop it in considering for a second, because maybe we could find a way to make it work, but let's see these defenders. Ideally high toughness defenders. Pit automaton. Spend this mana only to activate abilities. Where can we use that? Because I imagine there's some walls with some abilities. Kinda. I don't know if I like Colossus of Akros. It is just not working with Jaws of Defeat at all. Pit automaton would work. I don't think we're adding Smeg to your deck. Colossus isn't great. Yeah, exactly. I don't like Colossus. This is definitely a very interesting color combo for defenders. Target creature gains haste until end of turn. Ooh. It's kind of fun. With Karazakar? Whenever you attack a player. That could be something. Crashing Drawbreads? Yeah, I mean, like, I like it enough. You can add it back in. I think I like Tuk Tuk Rubble Fort better than Battle Rampart. This is some good threat of activation here. Just like all your creatures can't be blocked unless you don't care about the things attacking or you're blocking with. Ready, of course. Yeah, Tuk Tuk Rubble Fort. I like the Wall of Blood. That's fun. Just Raccoona, you're here. Hello. Tony's here, by the way. I'm Tony. I see. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. You posted that in YouTube and Twitch chat. That's fire. Wall of Blood is a funny comic cartoon, no? Yes, but it's risky. If you put all of your life into Wall of Blood and then you target it with the funny immolation, and your opponent removes it, you have just, like, hung yourself out to dry. You know what I mean? Like, it's high risk, is all. A Crow and Horse could be fun with Karazakar. They just always have creatures you can goad. It's not, like, that bad. It's fine, though. Other creatures get +X where X is this creature's power. Crow and Horse topical in it. Yeah, dude, the fucking popcorn buckets are out of control, man. Those things are like $70. Fuck that. Ooh, create eggs with Defender on landfall? Don't mind if I do. Hi, Elk. I'm here. I do following you, and I'm late. That's fine. Oh, dear heavens. You're 20 minutes late to the stream starting. I guess we just can't do the deck review. I guess it's just... sigh. You're just too late. 20 minutes into our 4-hour stream. It's over. No, it's fine. Don't worry. Okay. So I like the nesting dragon. That already feels good. I like the gates. That's fun. You have Basilisk Gate and all these gates. Sure. That feels pretty bracket too. I mean, maybe you're in a very green meta. At least 2 more lands. That seems like a lot, though. I'd rather you just run a Worn Power Stone, in all honesty. No, I missed out on channel points. I see. Bummer. Choose Flying, First Strike, Trample, or Shadow. Target creature with that ability loses it until end of turn. Another target creature gains that ability. That's fun. You're allowed some more goofy and whimsy than in bracket 3. I don't think I like Oubliette in bracket 2. That's just a vibes thing for me. It's not technically true by like concrete definitions. It's just not something I'm a big fan of. I like the idea of Omen Machine if we find a way to break the parity of players can't draw cards. Like, how are we doing that? Because in my opinion, Karazakar is one of the best commanders at drawing cards in Rakdos. So I'm a little iffy about the Omen Machine being here. Is this just like a pet card? What's happening here? What's the idea? Because it's a little lost on me. I'm trying not to. Is this just like an 6 mana pet card, rather? Trying to copy it with the ready. I see. Okay. I mean, I think that's awful, but it's probably just okay. It's a bad card. Okay. For me, I think the first thing I want to add to your deck is Goblin Engineer. Because this goes and grabs a lot of different things. First things first, it grabs Walking Bulwark. That's kind of fun. It can entomb the Walls of Bossing, say, and Omen Machine for Duretti. That's another line for Goblin Engineer. In fact, we have so many artifacts, we could just do a Duretti, and we already have Arena of Glory. So Duretti Rocketeer Engineer enters, you sacrifice an artifact, you trash for treasure. It's a trash for treasure Titan. 5 mana, graveyard to the battlefield, or you sack an artifact, bring something back. You swing with it with Arena of Glory haste. You do it again. That feels pretty okay. You have Tuk Tuk Rebel for it as well. Exile each opponent's graveyard. I mean, I suppose. Generally not a fan of Bedevil. Hex. Okay. Maybe Solemn, slightly too slow. That's fine. Parker Luck. I mean, our curve isn't that high. We don't have like a Keen Duelist, which is what I would run first over that. Okay. So we freed up a couple spots. My first thought is like, let's get a Liquid Metal Torque in here. Liquid Metal Torque is really nice with some of your artifact removal. Just turning into any non-land permanent removal. That's kind of fun. I like that. And plus, we want to ramp a little bit in this deck. Our curve is a little clunky. Then... Hang on. I want to look at TDC. ID equals black. Because I want to see if there's... Okay, Blightfield was in the pre-con. Because if we're taking Jaws of Defeat from the pre-con, I'm wondering what else a Wizards of the Coast designer thought about, if that makes sense. X is that creature's power. Or X is the sacrifice creature's toughness. It's okay. Not gonna lie, not very impressed. Now let's look for O colon toughness. Sort MV. Because I think we can run a few cards that are a little interesting. The first one I'm thinking about is like the Disciple of Gristlebrand effects and Mirren effects. Let's check our budget really quick. Are we okay with adding a $15 land? Because I do think Mirren's pretty decent in your deck. So what do we think here? And then we can kind of pivot this into a life gainy kind of list. Yeah? Okay. I'm no price issues. Okay. I made your mom a moaning well last night. Oh, you're already mod. I can't mod you again. That's terrible. That will just have to go unrewarded. Anyway, Disciple Perseverance. Sacrifice a creature. Gain life equal to sacrifice the creature's toughness. Super mod. It's that creature's power. Sad. What are some good card advantage things for mono red? You have a lot of options. So you can do Impulse Draw. If you are a very expensive red deck, like let's say your average mana value curve thing is like 3 to 4 with lands, then and I wouldn't really trust Impulse Draw to really get you all the way there. So I would probably go with Looting and Rummaging effects with Squee. You can run Goblin Matron to find Squee really easy, Imperial Recruiter to find Squee, and then you can just pitch him to discard, draw 2, and then, you know, upkeep, he comes back to your hand. That's kind of fun. You could do that with flashback stuff too. You know, things that want to get put in the graveyard. Madness cards, another good way to go about doing that. Clive, yeah, Clive's a pretty strong way to do it. There's a lot of effects that discard your whole hand. Like there's Hex Magic. Exile your whole hand. You can cast them until the end of your next turn. Replace your entire hand. There's a few ways to do card advantage like that. You could also just kill your opponents. That's a pretty red way to get card advantage, because if you have 0 life, your cards don't mean anything. Yeah, so long story short, you have options. You have options. Yeah, you can do ETB stuff with like Kiki Jiki too. Those Kiki Jiki cards. Whenever a creature with toughness 4 or greater is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, you may exile it. At the beginning of your end step, if you have 3 or more cards exiled with the artifact, sacrifice it. If you do, return those cards to the battlefield under the owner's control. Seems pretty good. I like that. I enjoyed the sound of that object. You could do like consuming vapors, target yourself, and then sack like a 30 life object or 30 toughness object. At that point, maybe you just no target opponent. Yeah, so it needs to be consuming vapors, and you target yourself, and then you gain life. So I like converting toughness into life. We kind of have this theme going through black now, which is very interesting because there's a lot of cards that pay off life gain. In that way, and it feels kind of drainy similarly to Jaws of Defeat, which is making me perk up a little about this deck. Whenever a creature dies, you gain life equal to its toughness. What does Grevin say exactly? You draw cards equal to that creature's power and lose life equal to that creature's toughness. That's right. Call me crazy. I don't think that's good in our defender deck. Oh. Let me bump my mouse. To me, this is the most relaxing thing in the world, by the way. Just like fucking slowly scrolling through like one word Scryfall search. Can't get enough of it. Kazul? I don't like Kazul in this deck. Can you explain maybe your reasoning on why you like him? Because he doesn't work well with Goad, in my opinion. Because he's like too one-sided. Built Grevin and hated it. Yeah, Grevin is high risk, high reward. Definitely could be feast or famine, even though on the surface he's not quite there. Okay, the higher up we get, the less interested I am in these gameplay objects, I think. So, we have 103 cards. I think I do want to cut a Arid Archway, just because we got rid of the Explorer's Scope kind of object. And Rakdos Canarium, once again, because we got rid of the object that is catch-up ramp. We'll add one more Swamp. And then I'm going to give you Sunken Citadel. Taps for 2 mana to activate abilities of lands. That's really good with Mirren the Moaning Well. That's really good with Basilisk Gate. That's really good for Baldur's Gate. That's really good for... It's okay with Arena of Glory. It's okay with Arena of Glory. It's good for Mezzy's End, though. So, there we go. I'm a fan of that. Dude, he's mewing. Geode Rager? Why? So you okay? I'm hereby banning typing the name of a card and putting a question mark. I want a reason. What's the reason why I'm supposed to be excited about these? Because Geo Rager with my 5 mana commander, what are we... What? Why do I want Geo Rager? Okay, I need to read what Bullshack Dragon is. That name is awesome. Oh, it spawns. Shout out, hi spawns. That isn't real. Cool. Ristic Study, Psycho Mantis. Okay, great. Now that I've said it, I've banned it. Everyone's just gonna do it forever. Terrible. What a horrible life I lead. I like Beseech. That's kind of fun. Okay. So what do you think about like Veto, Thorn of the Dusk Rose? Whenever you gain life, each target opponent loses that much life. Enduring Tenacity, whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. And then you run like Imperial Recruiter and Jaxus. The Imperial Recruiter's already in. Jaxus is not, though. So Imperial Recruiter can go and get Jaxus. Jaxus can copy Imperial Recruiter, get Veto. You can copy Imperial Recruiter next turn, get Walls of Bossing Say. You can discard it to Jaxus, get Reanimate. Or you don't get Reanimate, but if you have Reanimate, which I kind of like in this deck because it does fit the low toughness or low power, high toughness theme. So you can Reanimate Wall of Bossing Say, sack it to like Disciple of Gristlebrand, which you can tutor up with Jaxus. Gain 30 life. Oh my goodness, you gained 30 life? Great news about doing that. Your Veto triggers and drain someone for 30. So I think that's something, and it's multiple pieces that kind of don't coalesce until they're all kind of get together. So you're kind of building a doomsday machine in the corner and waiting, which is the pinnacle of bracket 2, in my opinion. The question is, what do we cut to make that work? And I think the answer is we can rely less on going wide with like shitty walls and kind of focus on like the walls that matter. You know what I mean? So like, let's maybe back off the goad theme a little bit. Like, we can just have Karazakar be a value engine. We don't need Karazakar to have goad support, per se. Maybe Scrawling Crawler out. Bashukabog would be fine to include. We do have Urza's Cave, which makes it a little bit more tantalizing. I could see that working out pretty well. Return the Favor's always been just too expensive in my mind. I like Untimely Malfunction because it blows up an artifact and is 1 mana cheaper. Maximum Carnage. That's fair. Like, do we need Wall of Earth? I kind of doubt it. Do we need Wall of Granite? I kind of doubt it. Oh, also, Jaxus is great with Jaws of Defeat, right? You have Jaws of Defeat, you have a big fuck. Big fuck. Jaxus can dink, make a copy of a big fuck, and then Jaws of Defeat will trigger. Type wall. Do you have 10 gates for Mace's End? Yes. We do have 10 gates for Mace's End. You can do like concealing curtains. Yeah, I could buy the concealing curtains is the move. Unlicensed hearse that can also grow big toughness. Yes, but its power and toughness are not different when it enters, and it takes a long time to get up there. So I'm not a big fan. I didn't realize there's 10 gates in 2 color. There's 10 gates in mono black. There's a game. So what it's not displaying right now is there's one gate that is not a gate on the type line. That's planar nexus. So there's 10 gates in black. Can I have a hot take? Sure. Gates is the most boring land deck strat. If we're talking Maze's End, sure. If we're talking Basilisk Gate, you're a moron. And that's my opinion. Gone Gate. Mono Black Great sounds so gross. It sounds totally asinine to me. It sounds fine. It sounds like it would not be that good. So 1 mana there, and then we're gonna go red, black, 1 to ready, plus to ready. Make a construct with defender. Just very silly, I see. Yeah, I love not hitting my lands. That's cool. Well, our sample size is 1, so I can't really guess anything off of that. I mean, I'm not a big fan of missing my land drops. Like, so I think maybe we should go up to 39 land. We do have like Night's Whispers and stuff. I mean, no Rakdos Charm. Although destroy target artifact is a good mode. Zero two wall, sure. So type land. Oh, toughness. Maybe just the Baxter building. This kind of combos with the Pit Automaton that turns the add 2 only for abilities into real mana. It also turns Sunken Citadel, add 2 mana for land abilities only, into real mana. And then you also just have the draw a card mode. That's kind of interesting, I think. Aurigel's Bloodfast. I don't think we're ever getting a little fiberless life, even though the backside is a mirror in the Moaning Well. Okay. Play Dest. Discard. Draw. Bloodstained Mire. Rock. Okay, we still have not learned the lesson that Surveil lands belong in every commander deck. Ideally over a tap land that doesn't matter. That does matter, though. It's a gate. What gates are we running? 1, 2, 3. I guess we just should run all of them, huh? Makes Baldur's Gate the most consistent it can be. So here's what we can do. We can go up, Rock, Os, Thetor. Rock. There we go. And then cut a mountain for Sundering Eruption. Sundering Eruption just being a way to blow up a land instead of Ghost Quarter. That's still a color. Alright. Discard. Sure, I'll keep this hand. Draw. Scavenger Grounds Expedition Map. Thran Portal, name Mountain. 1/2. Sack this. Height equals 2. Type land. Let's get Rectus. Go get. Please remember that we are a bracket 2 deck. We do not need this deck to go super fast. It just needs to be fun. Okay, I think we activate the purse. 2. Pass that around. Get 2 treasure tokens. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Karazakar. Attack a player, goad their creature. 1, 2. Off-nabbed goat. And 1, 2. Wall of Souls. Pay 1, draw a card, put a counter on this creature. Maybe some other people do that. I don't think you draw a card. You only draw a card when it dies. Okay. So 1, 2. Phyrexian Splicer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beseech. Jaws of Defeat. Or we should have drawn a card because that person would have hit someone else. Anyway, this probably dies. We draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next turn. Swamp. Barrier of Bones. Each opponent loses 3 as a target player. Yeah, target opponent loses 3 life. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jaxus the Troublemaker. Couple of creatures can't block this turn. Swing Karazakar. And then we draw a card because they hit an opponent. Okay, so ideally we're doing something fun here. And it looks like the answer is we're not doing something fun right now, which does kind of suck. We can Barrier of Bones. Yeah, we can get rid of Sulphur Springs, I think. Surveil 1. Graveyard. Draw a card when it dies. Attack someone with Karazakar. Draw a card. Next turn. Okay, there's Soul Immolation. Okay. So this is 1 black, 1 Wall of Blood. Drain someone for 1. You like pay a bunch of life. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Soul Immolation it. Explode all your opponents and their creatures, and then you attack with Karazakar. You don't have to explode Wall of Blood, right? You can just explode like Barrier of Bones, and like with like a copy if you left open a red mana, so you can like dink, copy Barrier of Bones, Surveil 1, Graveyard, and then you can just kill the token Barrier of Bones. But what about Possess Portal? We're not locking people out of the game. That's not the point of this. We're not locking people out of the game. That's not the point. This is just a pet card that's funny. Okay, so I'm not hating this. Because there is a line here with Imperial Recruiter that I kind of like with the Disciple of Gristlebrand and stuff. I feel like if we live in a world that game where we find the Unhallowed Phalanx, we're feeling awesome. But we just didn't find any of the high toughness objects. And no, a 2-mana 0/7 is not a high toughness object. That's like worth celebrating. I'd keep this. I'm gonna say we get 1 gold a turn from the object here. It's bracket 2. We're having fun. It's not deep. We would get another gold here because we attack the player with the curse on it. And then this stays tapped. Okay, that's very interesting to me. So let's surveil 1. Rakdos, Charm to Graveyard. 1, 2, 3. Wall of Blood. Attack the player with the curse on it. So, here you go. Dink, Arena of Glory, Haste. 1, 2, 4 mana. Tree of Perdition with Haste. We now go... One, two, three, 4. Southwind Avatar. With Haste, I guess, because you can split apart how you use the mana. So we'd have 1 less. Wait, hang on. So we activated Arena of Glory for Tree of Perdition. So we'd have to tap 1 more for Tree of Perdition. But anyway, here's the board. Haste, attack you, and then nothing. We can swap life totals here. Right, so this is huge. And then we'll draw 2 cards this turn. And we also get a gold token. Or not this turn, but next turn, when the attackers come around. And then now you're able to go, like, Basilisk Gate. 1, 2. Basilisk Gate, Tree of Perdition. It gets +1/+1, right? Or +2/+2. Do we have 2 gates? Nope, we just have 1. So this gets +1/+1. And then you go 1, 2, 3. Sack it to Mirren. We gain, like, 30 life, whatever the highest life total was. Plus another 30 life or whatever it is. You gain it twice because Southwind Avatar's here. And that's pretty funny. It's sad we don't have like a way to turn that into Drain, but we do have Soul Immolation now. And we have Wall of Blood. And we have the most life, which is a 1/2 punch. So you just pay all your life into here and then go Soul Immolation this. And then you gain all that life back from Southwind Avatar that you just paid into the Wall of Blood to make it huge. That's cool. That's cool. That's working, right, chat? That felt pretty okay. And that was like to turn 8, 9 win. Pretty fragile to removal. I still think Marvin's too strong for this deck, but Marvin turns this into a monster deck, I think. Maybe you run like Kazul's Fury. Right, this is also an outlet to turn Wall of Blood infinite damage to a player and kill them, but you just have it as like a land as well. Okay, I think I'm close to calling this one done. I think instead Bazooka Bog, Malakir Rebirth has more utility in this list. Graveyard Hate is very important, but this is kind of a combo deck where you can maybe just win over other people's graveyard stuff. So having 2 more combo outlets, because Malakir Rebirth's very nice with the like Disciple of Gristlebrand kind of sack outlet stuff. Like you're able to sack the same creature 2 times in a turn for 3 mana and gain that much life, and then veto kill 2 people instead of 1. That's a reason to be running Malakir Rebirth instead. What do you think about the new Rakdos Smog preview yesterday? I don't like his name. Right? Let's pull this up. Yeah, not Smog the Magnificent. Smaug. Yeah, Smaug the Impenetrable. Not around me, dog. Around me, this guy's getting penetrated. Well, spoiler alert for A spoiler alert for The Hobbit. You'll never guess what happens to Smaug. It's the opposite of his name. That dude gets killed in 20 minutes. Anyway, thank you for the Rakdos Wall deck review. This was a very interesting list. I hope I got it to a spot where you're like, okay, that's a little interesting, you know, a little into it. But I was into this list. There's a lot of fun synergy going on here that I feel like we typically see in Bant or even Abzan, but we don't really see in Rakdos that frequently. So having this toughness matters kind of deck in a Rakdos list is kind of cool. Yeah. So hopefully the Drain treats you well. I imagine it will. It felt pretty okay during the playtesting. It definitely felt at the pace of a bracket 2 kind of game. And then if you ever want to bump it up to a 3, you could run Marvin and just do some horrible war crimes with 3 Perdition. Maybe try to find things with more activated ability synergy would be my only word of advice. That's it. Like, Jaxus is incredible, but maybe add, like, more of these on top, like Orthyron, Hero of Lava Brink. There's worlds where that deck becomes stronger. There's upgrade paths I can see. Is it Orthyron? I thought maybe it's like Ortheon. Yeah, it's Ortheon, my fault. Hero of Lava Brink. Where it has the Jaxus ability, but it also has the create 5 token copies, which is funny with Jaws of Defeat. I don't know if Ortheon's right to run alongside Jaxus. I prefer Jaxus first as a discard outlet, but it's a thought. It's a thought to be had. Anyway, like I said, thank you for getting a deck review. Okay. Moving on. Rack, are you okay with so since you're here, you got 3 deck reviews. I'm fine with your doing one of yours now, and then another 2. We can just weave yours in between the other deck reviews, I think. That might be the best way to do it. So we'll do yours, we'll do one of the other ones, and then we'll do yours again, and then we'll do another not yours, and then we'll do yours at the end. Unless you just gotta leave or something, in which case, I guess we can do all 3 at once. But I think this is the fairest way to kind of structure it for people, because everyone's here, I think. Because we have Tony here, I believe. So Tony, you'll be after the next rack review. Yes. Okay, so we have Miss Bumbleflower first. I'm fine, by the way, with people buying multiple deck reviews, so long as they're not, like, all bought within the first hour of them opening. Like, if you buy, like, all 6 out every week, I might have a problem with that. But, yeah. Yeah, that's fair. So long as you're giving, like, a day or 2, you can buy multiple, honestly. You've had your shot after the Tuesday and Sunday streams slot refresh to get yours if you really want one. So people buying multiple after, like, the first 2 to 3 days, I'm totally cool with. Anyway, we have Miss Bumbleflower here. It's a group hug deck with Miss Bunny. The idea is to politic around until she gets big so you can stab her with her hidden blade. Hidden blade. This card sucks. Am I crazy? It's flavorful, I guess. It's also just like, what is this doing? Yeah, I want to use the Assassin's Creed package. Attach it to 1 target creature you control. Is there cards that we have that care about assassins? It's not good, that's the idea. I see, it's just a flavorful thing. So my first thought is, like, do we include objects that say the word assassin on it? So, like, Loyal Inventor can get other artifact cards and then put them in your hand when you have an assassin. Whenever one or more assassins you control deal combat damage player, return target historic card from your graveyard to your hand. Like, let's just lean on getting Head and Blade every game. This sucks. This does nothing. Hi, all Fate Stalker. That's funny. Yeah, I don't really like the rest of these. Free running cards are good with flyers. Free running cards I don't like as assassin payoff because they already care about your commander. So why this does nothing. Gains death touch until end of turn. I mean, this is just kind of a kill spell, isn't it? You throw this on any old object and it's a kill spell. Sure, that's funny. I'd probably want... I don't know. These are fun. Let's see. I like the Studious First Year. That works really well with Miss Bumbleflower because this is 2 spells in 1. Generous Pup, sure. I think the Triskaidekaphile is distracting from what you want to do with the deck, which is kill people with Miss Bumbleflower. Triskaidekaphile is totally fine card. I think here, though, it's a little bit of a distraction from what we're doing. Generally not a fan of nils. It's kind of easy to avoid. But it is funny to put counters on their creature. But honestly, if you want to counter on their creature payoff, you already have Willbreaker. You can get Generous Patron in here. Whenever you put a counter on a creature you don't control, one or more counters on a creature you don't control, you draw a card. Like, this is a way better 3-mana object to pay off putting counters on opposing things. Not generally a fan of Cross. Or not Cross, sorry. I mean, Mangara. Mangara's just outlived his prime, I think, sadly. Used to be a very, very good card, but nowadays there's just kind of better options for card advantage and stuff. And we also have, we need to make room for some certain cards that I think have really good synergy. I really hate Desynchronization. This is one of the worst board wipes I've ever seen. I've seen Desynchronize be awesome in one deck. So Desync is just, it doesn't really play that well. It's like, oh, it doesn't hit my commander, it doesn't hit my artifacts. Like, that's pretty good. It doesn't hit your opponent's commanders or artifacts either. And sometimes commanders are the thing you want to hit the most. The one deck I've seen Desync be fucking awesome in, I mean, like, star of the show, best board wipe for the deck, is Visor Tolo. Is this it? No. Where is it? Doctor. Group chat at 3 a.m. I think it was called. Yes. So it was the second Doctor, Visor Tolo. Visior. So, second Doctor, no players have no maximum hand size. That's all this was run for. It also draws opponents' cards. Visior Tolo also attacks and drains opponents. And these are both legendary. And the joke is that this deck's cloning the Visior and giving him away to opponents, as many as possible with non-legendary clones. And then they have full hands. And then the desync bounces everything back to their hand that isn't a commander or historic or whatever. And that fills their hand even more without touching the Visiors. And then they explode and die because they have to swing with their 3 Visiors and they've just been drained for a billion. Right? So this is where I love Desynchronization. This is where I'm like, wow, I'm really impressed with this card here. I've never seen another deck do it as well as this one with the desync. Yeah, I'm not explaining this, by the way, because like I think that you enjoy this card a lot. I'm more explaining why I don't really like it in general and why I much prefer it in that because I was just so impressed with that deck using it. That was so cool finding that card for that. Generally not a fan of Leyline of Anticipation, but I'm willing to hear you out. Wilder's Declamation makes it a bit better. Simic Ascendancy, once again, I think we're distracting from Miss Bumbleflower doing cool things. Rip, you are a war criminal monster. You jerk. So since we have Rip, I'm going to put you on an old card that I think is really funny. First, I think we should maybe look at a Moonblessed Cleric. So Moonblessed Cleric is the include. Ta-da. Kempt with Bunnies has to say. I'll cut Kodama and Cultivate. I don't think ramping on 3 to 5 is that important. Whereas ramping from 2 to 4 is. So anyway, Moonblessed Clerican. Reason why I like Moonblessed Cleric. I keep going back and forth on Rip personally. Rip is a perfectly fine Magic the Gathering card if you do not care about the graveyard, which the tech doesn't. However, it is like the best way to do it, so it could be a little mean for bracket 2. Anyway, Web of Inertia! I finally get to use this tech. At the beginning of each opponent's combat phase, that player may exile a card from their graveyard. And if that player doesn't, creatures they control can't attack you this turn. Oh my goodness gracious, would you look at that? We're immortal! From attacks. We can still get Great Mitch of Asphodel comboed, etc. But this is some hot tech you'll only find around here. Yum. Anyway, that's why I put in the Moonblessed Cleric. Being able to find those regularly, probably it's pretty good. Because Web of Inertia by itself is just okay. Rest in Peace by itself is just okay. Together, oh man, what a force. What a force. I think to make the Moonblessed Cleric slightly more tantalizing, I'm going to add Court of Vantress. Court of Vantress can copy an artifact or enchantment every turn so long as you maintain the monarchy during your upkeep. Great news about maintaining the monarchy during your upkeep. Everyone knows what's coming. Regular watchers know what's up. Shadow the Second Sun. Beginning of Enchanted player's post-combat main phase, there's an additional beginning phase after this phase. So you go to combat, you swing, you out of combat. This triggers. You do your normal second main phase. And right before your end step, you get to untap, upkeep, upkeep trigger, because I'm the monarch. I'll make a copy of Shadow the Second Sun, draw, and then end step. And then this is also just a Wilderness Reclamation at its floor that draws a card every turn, right? So it's a Wilderness Reclamation that draws every turn. Court copies on your upkeep. So now you can get exponential Shadows of the Second Sun. I don't really vibe with Shadow of the Second Sun, not gonna lie. Why? Why do you not vibe with Shadow, but you do vibe with Wilderness Reclamation? What's the issue here? Why do we vibe with Wilderness Rec, but we don't vibe with Shadow? Because I really don't see, like, a power level reason why this card's, like, too much stronger than a Wilderness Rec. I don't see a clunkiness factor. Like, these are definitely, like, not as mean as Miss Bumbleflower. Let me tell you that right now. This bitch is evil. But, you know, please enlighten me here. The beginning phase feels kind of like too much for me. Okay, but it's no different than untap. What? I have a question for you. Just Raccoona, how do you think this card works? Because you were thinking of duping it if I'm not wrong. I just don't want to go infinite. This isn't infinite. This isn't infinite. Here, I'm gonna show you something. So, this is how this card works. I think you think it's a little bit more powerful than it is. So we have our phases of Magic, right? This is untap, upkeep, draw. Or I guess this will be a beginning phase, first main, combat, post-combat, end step, right? This is what your turn looks like. You have 5 kind of major phases in a game of Magic the Gathering. With Shadow, Court. This is not a combo. You have Shadow in play enchanting you. Shadow triggers here. Right? This is your combat. This is the beginning of your pre-combat main phase. This is when Shadow triggers. It does not untap anything yet. It is just putting it here. So it triggers here to put it here. So you do not get this mana during the second main phase. This is not like an extra turn. Right? This does. A lot of people think it untaps during combat here. It doesn't. It puts the trigger here, and then it untaps here. Okay. So the trigger happens here. Court of Vantress triggers here. And by this time, this copy of the Shadow of the Second Sun has already missed its opportunity to trigger. Does that make sense? Because it'll trigger again next turn, these two here. And then if you copied it 2 more times, let's say, you'll now have 4. But the 2 copies, their triggers won't happen once again until right here. It is a very confusing card. It is a very confusing card that reads a lot more powerful than it is, but it's no stronger, in my opinion, than Wilderness Reclamation. Wilderness Reclamation is -2 mana, which is huge. This gives you a draw and an upkeep before you untap everything. This also untaps everything. So I think these 2 cards are more on par than you think. I may have been misplaying that card. It is okay. Apologize to your playgroup. Maybe buy some pizza for them. Just say, listen, guys, I got the snacks tonight. I'm sorry I misread it. The wording sucks. Because the wording does suck on these cards. This one in Sphinx, I used to misplay Sphinx of the Second Sun. Right? This is not an uncommon thing to misplay this card. So PSA, it doesn't make the main... It happens at your beginning main phase, or your second main phase, to trigger to put it before your end step. It doesn't trigger there to untap everything for that beginning end step. That would be broken. That would be really strong, yes. Okay, anyway. I think I just want to playtest this and kind of feel where the pain points are. Hang on, first things first. I do want to put some wizard cycling in here, so we're just going to put step through in. The reason is because now that we have all these, like, untappers on end step, we have an extra one of these. I do want to add High Fae Trickster as another flash enabler, and that is a wizard, and Willbreaker's a wizard. And I think Cross is... No, it's an advisor. But we do have Fathom Mage, and it's fucking Bant. We probably have one more wizard that we care about, right? Yeah, Quain. So yeah, there's a fucking, you can get Studious first year if you really want. Has Hexproof. I don't think I like Kid Loki that much, but it is... Oh, no, actually, Kid Loki is kind of cool, right? Because you put a counter opposing object, second spell, give Misspell Multiplier Hexproof. It's fine. I don't think it's really that too good. I don't see a ton of ramp here. You're blind. So we have Farseek, Rampant Growth, Studious First Year, Birds. That's 4. We have Arcane Signet. That's 5. Honestly, 5's a pretty good number. Like I don't really hate that much. Because like we don't need to ramp that much. Look at our curve. Not too much ramp, sadly. What's sad about not having ramp in my deck that caps at 6 mana? Five is not a lot to me. Yeah, I know, but we also don't have a lot of mana we need to spend during the course of the game. Why do we need to ramp to 15 mana? It's like... It's okay. I'm ironic about ramp. What does ironic mean in this context? I've never seen this word used this way. I would keep this, sure. Draw. Wizard of Beach. Next turn. Generous Pup. Island. There is a card that's better than Tranquilize. And even then, I don't really like Tranquilize all that much. We're just in white. We have so much better removal. Tempt? Ew. That's scary. I guess it's a group hug deck. Picker Poison's not that bad, but I'd like it more for 1v1 formats, honestly. All the modes are just a little bit okay in Commander. Tempt, remove it, and it fits the group hug kind of cute theme. I'm not gonna cut it. This is meant to be like bracket 2-ish. I feel like bracket 3 maximum. Okay, we can cut Tempt if we're trying to be bracket 3 maximum. Okay, so I think let's do Fertile Ground as just like an enchantment you can go grab with this to fix. And it's also just 2 mana ramp. Cut a forest for traverse the Uvenwald. And then go Malevolent Rumble, which is another way to accelerate out Miss Bumbleflower a little bit. Right, because this goes from 2 to 4, and then also gets you something in your hand, and then it also sets up Delirium for Traverse, of which we have a very diverse card spread of types. If anything, being banned makes me kind of want to run Amanatu's Augury a little bit. But we don't have a lot of mana for cheating, but we do just have a lot of different card types. And I think we could get to 8 mana kind of okay by turn 7. We'll probably have one piece of acceleration by then. Plus, like, Flash Enabler, plus untap on end step, is you can tap, untap. Well, this only works with Wilderness Reclamation, I guess. You go tap all your lands, and then you untap step, and then you tap all your lands again in response to the trigger. Well, because the trigger untaps them. So you do it in response to the trigger, and then you untap all them, and then you tap them again. So that plus a haste is kind of good. Anyway, yeah, Augury I like. At that point, you might as well also run Portent of Calamity, which does something kind of similar. Expel. Reveal the top X cards of your library. For each card type, you may exile a card type from among them. If you exile 4 more card types this way, you can free cast one of them, and then the others go in your hand, and then everything else goes in the graveyard. Pretty good. A good group hug deck, blah, 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 blah. Don't worry about it, man. I don't know. It's already cut. We cut that card 5 minutes ago, and we're writing novels about it. It's not that big a deal. I think it fits the theme okay. It's cute. And then I try to get in the mind of a group hug player for a second. The dismal, awful mind of a group hug player. They're probably gonna put Tempted in their deck. They're probably gonna put Tempted in their deck. They kill you with kindness, these fuckers. These evil worms. Okay, I'm really fucking with the rest of these cards, though, which is really messing me up. It's just a bunny, though. Why do we have to be mad? Dog. You could not pick... Oh, if you like bunnies that much, play like a different rabbit. You got options. You know damn well what you're doing. Okay, I think it's going to be Forgotten Ancient. I like Forgotten Ancient. It's a strong card. The rest of our deck is strong cards, though. You know what I mean? It's like... we gotta make some decisions here. Maybe Swiftfoot Boots. And then we call it... that's it. We playtest this now and see how it feels. Draft 1.0 is officially launched. Okay, we have 2 or more opponents. Get a white mana. Shoutouts Traverse the Uvenwald, my favorite MDFC. Dink Dink, Lockmare. Dink. Tap your creature and put a stun counter on it. Two, three, four. Miss Bumbleflower. Honestly, Tidal Barracuda. Let's have fun. One, two, three, four. Miss Bumbleflower. On your end step. Next turn. Okay, great. So here we go. Island, 1, 2. Target opponent draws a card. 1, 2. Rampant Growth. We draw 2 cards in response. Wow, we have a land full of or a handful of lands, rather. A land full of hands. Let's get Forest, I guess. There you go. 1, 2. Draw a card. Okay, there's Amanatu's Augury. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Amanatu's Augury. Exile top 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we will cast Frantic Search, Fertile Ground, Fathom Mage. I guess we'll do Moonblast Cleric instead of Fathom Mage. I'm more concerned about card quality than quantity. And then this land goes into play tapped. So, you may play your land until end of turn for each card type. Okay, so what we do is we cast Frantic Search. That is our second spell this turn. Miss Bumbleflower triggers, we draw 2 cards. We now draw 2, discard 2, untap 3, Moonblast Cleric for free, and Fertile Ground for free. And then this triggers, and we'll put Shadow of the Second Sun on top of our library. And then I guess we can just tempt with bunnies. Hooray. Next turn, turn 8. Dink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or I guess let's do 5. Willbreaker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or 5, 6. There we go. Shadow the Second Sun ourselves. Hey, trigger. Steal your creature with Willbreaker trigger. Okay, end step. We untap, upkeep, and draw. On your turn, we now go 1, 2, 3. Evolution Witness. Steal your creature. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Octomancer. Steal your creature. 1, 2. Or 1, 2, 3, King Chala, or I guess you do King Chala first, steal your creature, and then we draw a bunch of cards from King Chala, and then also the Miss Bumbleflower triggers. Wow. Like, look at that. That's cool. Is that King T'Challa? Yeah. That's wrong. He's good in this deck. He's good when you're gifting cards away. But yeah, there's the Willbreaker, Tidal Barracuda, Shadow. Flash Enabler Shadow, as it turns out. Very strong. Okay. Like, this is feeling like a deck. This is working. I'm just curious if we're missing anything now. I love during the trailer, guys, for the Kamigawa versus Ikoria set, like the Kaiju monster battle. They're like, Ikoria, we have this old plane, Kamigawa, mixed with a new plane, Ikoria, a newer kind of addition to the Magic multiverse, but one that quickly became a great hit with fans. I'm like, no, it didn't. Everyone hated Ikoria because their companion. Ikoria is like one of the lowest ranked sets. To be fair, I do think the low ranking's not correct. I think Ikoria is a good idea for a set. They need to bake it a little more, for sure. Diabolically bad is not correct. The companion pre-errata was a diabolically bad mechanic, and after errata still was a diabolically bad mechanic. However, Mutate was kind of bad, wasn't it? Yeah, okay. You know what? I'm going to give it a D+. Cycling was... I like the cycling cards. I'm just a big cycling enjoyer, gotta say. Also, companions in Limited are super fun, so I don't want to hear anyone saying companions are... blanket bad, because in Limited, companions are a ton of fun. They are very interesting, and I bet you could make an interesting companion design if you really wanted to. But man, Ikoria needed another year in the oven, bare minimum. I love Mutate. I wish it wasn't so fragile. Yeah, I don't know why they made a mechanic that's literally identical to how auras used to be. Do you notice how like every aura enters and draws a card or creates tokens or brings something back from the graveyard or does all these infinite things, and equipment typically don't do that. Sometimes equipments will just auto equip and that's it. The reason why auras do all these like backflips when they enter the battlefield is because auras suck. Auras are awful. You enchant a creature, it gets blown up, you get 2 for 1. That's really bad. So, you know, the reason why we have all these auras today that always do something when they enter is because of that. And then they just made Mutate. And I guess Mutate does something when you do it. But you're still going down cardboard most of the time. It's typically the thing that the Mutate does is very cost prohibitive the first 2 times you do it. It isn't until like Mutates 4 and 5 that I'm really interested in what's happening. You know what I mean? Anyway, my Mutate spiel aside. What else can we add to this kind of deck here? I think maybe my first thought is we go down like a Rampant Growth. And the reason why we go down a Rampant Growth is we can go up a Shimmer Wilds growth. I do think just like having just the equivalizing sorceries and enchantments is good. Maybe like an artifact creature somewhere in here. Is that something? Okay, maybe we don't need to search for the assassin blade. The hidden blade, rather. Okay, I don't know what I was thinking here. I thought this would be cuter, but alas, we are not that historic here. So we can keep the hidden blade, but let's add like... What to add? We're a +1/+1 counter kind of deck. I do kind of want to look at a previous cross deck I reviewed. Because typically the way I will upgrade cross is by doing kind of similar things here, where we have putting counters on opposing things, so we have generous patron, stuff like that. Maybe proliferation's worth it. Will Breaker's already in. We could do something like Astral Cornucopia or Crystalline Crawler, I think. Crystalline Crawler works with the counters angle, turning counters into mana. And then it also works with the... that's it. Really. We're a 3-color deck. It works with that, I guess. Do you have enough target creature to make Willbreaker consistent? So read our commander. So, yes. Willbreaker is stupid. We could do some proliferation. I mean, you could also just run, like, Muddle. Right, Muddle the Mixture. Counter target instant or sorcery spell. You could also do, like, Evacuation. Because, I mean, that fucks with your counters kind of bad, though, doesn't it? Because I do like it bouncing back to get the cast triggers again, but it does mess with the counters kind of otherworldly, which I don't really like. Yeah, proliferate with the Willbreaker. It doesn't work the way you want it to. Crimson Raven. It doesn't... Proliferate doesn't target. What would work is the stupid double counter thing. The Manta Ray. Deep Glow Skate. When this creature enters, double the number on any number of target permanents, so you can steal every creature in play with that, with Willbreaker. Yeah, MVP. Yeah, Willbreaker plus support works really well, though. Willbreaker plus Missile Bumbleflower is also something to take note of. What if this is just something that triggers whenever you draw a card? Like, probably not clicking Sky Mage, but... Ominous Seas, I, like, no. Like Psychosis Crawler, maybe. Watched in the Water. It's fine. I think I'm just going to put Muddle. Muddle the Mixture turns into Hidden Blade, which is funny. That's it. It also does a counter spell. Yeah, this hand's incredible. Behold the power of Malevolent Rumble. I'll take High Fae. Add token. Eldrazi Spawn. Next turn. Glacial Fortress. Pass. 1, 2, 3, 4. High Fae Trickster. Next turn. Plains. Pass. 1, 2, 3, 4. Miss Bumbleflower on your end step. Next turn. You do control 2 or more other lands. So, 1, 2, 3. Frantic Search. Draw 2. Discard 2. I think let's get rid of Mithril Coat. Crystalline Crawler. Anyway, counter here. 1, 2. Tataru Taru. Counter here. And then we draw 2. And then we make a treasure. Whenever opponent draws a card, if it isn't that player's turn, I see. So this can't trigger right now, but we could trigger it technically, but anyway. Next turn. Island. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shadow the Second Sun, target us. Crack treasure. Traverse the Evenwald. We have Delirium. We can search for any land or creature. We could get King Chala, but we already have... I think Willbreaker is always the grab here. So we have Shadow the Second Sun enchanting us. We draw 2 more cards. Technically, we should have done that in response to the tutor, but... Or it would have happened before the tutor happened, but... You untap all your lands. And then now World's our oyster because we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Willbreaker. Trigger Miss Bumbleflower. You draw a card. We create a tapped treasure token because an opponent drew a card when it wasn't their turn. And then you're able to not tap like an idiot. And you go like, pat to exile your object over here. And then Miss Bumbleflower triggers on your object over here. And we take it. And that was the end step before our turn. So then we untap, upkeep, draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 mana, but Amanati's Augury is not there yet. So we go dink, dink, Fairy Mastermind. You draw a card, we steal your creature. 1, 2, Arcane Signet. Draw 2 cards. And then draw another card because of Fairy Mastermind. Steal your creature. And then we can go Exotic Orchard as land for turn. 1, 2, 3. Tempt with Bunnies. Draw like a card or 2. Steal your creature. And then you untap everything. Upkeep, draw. Discard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Amanati's Augury. Steal your creature. Draw a card. And then we go 8 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And each of these spells that are of a different type, well, we put a land into play. Not even into play tapped, my fault. So Forest. Generous Pup, steal a creature. Draw a card. Oh, we actually draw 2 cards because that's our second spell this turn. Fathom Mage would draw us another card because we can target the same player twice with Fairy Mastermind. Oh, we can't do Fathom Mage. We do Fertile Ground on the Forest. And then just like that, we now have Protection spell up with swords that can do this all over again on another player's turn. Like, this is pretty fucking great. And that's turn 7. Overwhelming Bant advantage. Feels good. Feels good. I think this is about set. I'm feeling pretty confident in this list. It's doing the counters and stealing and flash speed stuff that you want to be doing in Bant. It has a lot of fun value engines. A very even split of card types for Amanati's Augury to kind of shine, for Portent of Calamity to kind of shine. Brainstorm helps set those up. I don't feel the need to add a Brain Surge per se. Okay, I feel good. This is nice. This makes me smile. All right, moving on. Tony. Hello, hello, hello. So we're going to do Tony, and then we're going to do Rack again, and then we're going to do Unreclusive, and then we're going to do Rack again. Calamax. Anyway, yes, so Calamax. I do like a good Calamax. That's fun. It's like it's 2020 all over again. He was my first commander. Aw. Tony, 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 magic, magic, magic. I agree, Tony. The game plan is a secret. I do reveal the secrets in the primer, but the gist is that I had an Animar deck that was too strong, and Calamax is in dire need of a boost. With their powers combined, I have made the ultimate bracket 2 deck. I don't believe in game changers, and I hate 2-card infinites, but open to any changes that keep it within bracket 2, sure. No real problems, just wanted to showcase my favorite Magic deck of all time. I'm open to suggestions on how to prove it, though. Dope. Yeah, Calamax only copies instants, right? Yep, copy an instant spell. Okay. Well, I've seen Emrakul and Eldrazi, so I don't think that the game plan's all that secret. I think it's very blatant, in fact. There's Dark Depths. Dark Depths, no crop rotation breaks my heart. It's so sad that card's a game changer, huh? I think we do need a Yavimaya. And that's just because of Archdruid's Charm. I do think we need a Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth. But I think we should be play testing this. This hand is awful. This is a little better. Return of the Wild Speaker, I see. Okay, green. Exploration Brood Ship. Or do we play Gene? I think we play the Brood Ship. Actually, I do think we play Gene, because this turn now you can go Exploration Brood Ship, tap this permanent for mana, and do nothing with it, but still. You could tap Gene now and get a counter. Propaganda. Everyone knows I hate this card. Anyway, 4 Protector's Gaze. Return the 1 non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Search the library for a basic land. Put it on the battlefield shuffle. Okay, sure. We'll get a mountain. One. We can just play Calamax, actually. There's Dark Depths. You go tap Calamax. 1, 2, 3, 4. Earthshaker Triumph. We'll draw 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, and then we just have like Veyron. We have Temple. I don't know. This has all the trappings of like a newer player commander deck that I don't really like. Because Calamax is 1, 3 colors, which Temple the False God doesn't even help cast. Temple the False God's also not helping cast Cryptic Command. It's, I don't know. There's a few cards that it just doesn't really fit the curve with. Not that Archmage Emeritus, but like Tyvar, it doesn't work with really well. Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of that. We're counting Dark Depths as a land, which I also really don't agree with. Because this doesn't tap for mana, dog. Well, it does now because we had a Yavimaya, but... Okay. I like a lot of these cards, a lot of what's going on. I mean, the vehicle idea is cute. I just think a couple of these just aren't really worth running. I was also really unimpressed with Veyron, kind of, but I'm sure she's fine. That was just one playtest, you know? The Jins. New Prismari is really funny here. I guess. How is he more funny than, like, Thousand Year Storm? I think the answer is he isn't, right? Planar Genesis Growth Spiral. What's the new one from Strixhaven? Is that a sorcerer or an instant? I thought it was an instant. No, it's a sorcery. Okay, bummer. Elemental teaching and archdruids. There's that's a sorcery too, though. Gosh, everything I love about lands is sorcery speed, huh? Relic of Legends and Honor One Shaku. I guess. Is it bad that I want like more like instant speed cantrips in the deck, like Opt? Just like little one value dinky ones you can do with Calamax early, and then like the turn you play Calamax, you have 1/2 mana floating. You just draw 2 cards, and then later in the game, it's like, okay, now I start exploding the game. Elk Songcrafter Mage. What about Songcrafter Mage? You tap Calamax and then cast the instant. That's fun. It's just you tap out during your turn. That feels bad. Harrow. Harrow's already in the deck. Yeah, by the way, chat, the issue is not tapping Calamax. We are going to have no issue doing that. The deck's already full of shit to do that with. I am I literally cut 2 ways to tap Calamax. Because I'm just like, whatever, it's fine. Anyway, we could do like Brainstorm. What does See the Truth say? It's a sorcery. That doesn't matter. Yeah, we could just do like Brainstorm, huh? Brainstorm is kind of iffy to copy, though. You are right. Just to consider, I guess. Alright, let's play Dest. Discard. It's a little bit of a slow one. This one's also 1 lander. This is blue and red and Dark Depths, which doesn't do anything. We can't cast any of our spells. Wow, your mana base is just awful, I think. It's really bad. Wow, you have the fucking Shire in here? Like, everything's monocolored here. Get Zanarkand out of here. Yeah, add 1 mana. Like, okay, this one's fine. Scene of the Crime out. I don't like the tap land here. Yeah, I don't like the pathways at all. Legitimately at all. I take it there's a budget limit here. It doesn't say a budget limit in the primer. I'm normally just okay with pathways, but in this deck, the monocolored lands feel ridiculously awful. It feels very bad. I typically just don't add duels to lands. To me, to decks, to me, in Commander, duels don't exist. I do not see them. There's people who proxy duels. I don't care. You do you. Have fun. To me, they're just like past era design mistake that belongs in Vintage Cube and nowhere else. They belong in Legacy. Yeah, the Turbulent lands would be pretty dope. But literally, I just clicked on random lands that I consider okay. Watch how much better this deck feels. I'd keep this one. Dink, Spider Manifestation. Dink, 1, 2, 3, 4. Calamax. Survivor's Encampment, pass. Dink, that's 1 mana. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 mana here. We could just copy Frantic Search. I think it's better to copy Traumatic Critique. So draw 2, then discard. Draw 2, then discard. I guess we could keep the Lumbering World Wagon. Although this is just better, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, next turn. Land for turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Think. Okay, draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Put a land into play. 1, 2, 3. Put a land into play. Next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So close to greatness. So I guess what we do is just pass. And you go green, green, green. Archdruid's Charm. Dark Depths. Thespian Stage. 1, 2. Tap. Dink, dink. Merit Lage. 1, 2, 3. Lindblum. Because why not? Next turn. Stinking to stupid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ulamog. Exile top half of opponent's library. Swing Merit Lage somewhere else. Okay, and then like we're off to the races for the late game. Yeah, I always call this card stinking to stupid. Fucking Brian Koval called it at that one time, and I'm just like, I'm so in. I like a good name like that. Okay, I think Chandra's a little much at 6 mana. I want to like her, to be clear. It's just, damn. Trigger to build even elementally control triggers. That okay, that's cute. The Calamax is an elemental. Fine. I'll give you that. That's cute. I don't think it's good. All right, playing this for 4 mana, Calamax next turn. We've just delayed our tempo by a turn. We don't care if Calamax triggers twice and copies it twice. At least, like, Twinning Staff happens before Calamax comes down. Okay, I've talked myself out of it. I don't really like this. So, what if we added another land that is also an instant? I think Twinning's a trap too. Yes, I do not like Twinning Staff that much. I think if you put it in your commander deck, it's okay though. Like, I'm totally fine with you doing that. Like, it's not anything that I find offensive. It's not offensively bad. That's typically what I look for when I look at cuts. Valakut Awakening is the correct answer. It's also $20 when I believe it should be $5. So maybe instead of that, we just do Colony Ambush. You could also do like this Drawari or something funny. Valakut Awakening, legit throw it in? Sure. If you are the owner of the deck. All right, great. So we have one more slot to play around with. I'm trying to think what I want most of all in this list. Why Resonating Loot? Why double our mana in an instant heavy deck? I don't know. It doesn't seem that bad to me. It does not seem that bad. Cards seem okay, in fact. Crypt of Agademe and Seagate Restoration are so expensive now, man. Yeah, I think Crypt is way too expensive. I think Seagate should easily be a half or third of the price. Yeah. You're looking at creatures as your big top end. Yeah, I guess, but there's like still like double casting instance is fucking crazy. Like here, double spelling any of these on like turn like 5 through 6. Just so good, just incredible. You also have X spells, right? Traumatic Critique X is double as big as it normally is. Electrodama is X as big as normally is. Comet Storm X as big as it normally. Like it's. There's a reason for it to be in. It's not. Is it the strongest thing you could be running? Probably not. But Commander isn't about necessarily running the strongest thing as per usual. It's for big splashy fun stuff, and so long as that big splashy fun stuff doesn't get in the way of the deck being fun and flowing well, which I don't think Loot would, then it's fine. Should I just put like Mizzix's Mastery in this deck? I don't hate the idea. We could do Shadow of the Second Sun again, I guess. Shadow of the Second Sun's just good in a deck with a lot of instants. It untaps Calamax, so on your turn you can go tap Calamax, cast a spell, and then untap everything, including Calamax. They can then tap again and do an instant on their turn. Yeah, this is fine. I think I like Shadow here. I'm not going to add the Court, I think. That's going to be the catch. Is I'm not going to add the Court, but I will keep the Shadow in. Unkeepable. This is better, but we don't have blue. I'm sure we'll find it. Yep, exactly. Ender's tapped. Spider Manifestation. Dink. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have blue, red, green, one of any. We can do Calamax here. Next turn. Mysterize tapped. Or I guess we do Pinnacle. So you play Pineapple Monk. And then you go 1, 2, 3. I guess we could play the Brood Ship last turn, couldn't we have? Because this would untap. Okay, I see. So we played Brood Ship last turn. This turn's 1, 2, 3, 4. Tap this. We can't get Consult, which does suck. So we can play additional land this turn then. Mysterize. Kona into Shadow. Yeah, I think that's it. So you go Kona. And then crew it with Kona. Shadow. And then this is also a creature. And then we untap. Upkeep. Draw. And then it's sad we can't retap Calamax here, but honestly, I don't mind just consulting for 5, fair style. And we can do Growth Spiral. Thespian Sage. I don't think I like Spelunking, guys. I think. Oh no, Spelunking works with Dark Depths, of course. You can't. What do you mean I can't? What can't I do? How do we tap Calamax? If you're thinking Exploration Brood Ship, you need to know what Station does, because Station doesn't work that way. If you thought you figured out a way to do a tapping of the commander there, you are mistaken. I'm not familiar with Station. Okay, Station is not at instant speed. You can't station an instant. Okay, double major. Maybe seems a bit much. I think one Eldrazi is typically enough to close out a game. And if you just cast the second one, you don't need to copy one. You can just cast the Eldrazi, period. So maybe we can go up one instant or sorcery here that or one way to tap Calamax. And I think I like Jiraga Tree Speaker, or not Jiraga Tree Speaker, sorry. Reach. Mana value 1. Type Elf. Tap. Jaspara Sentinel. Add 1 mana of any color if you tap another untapped creature you control, and it's a 1/2 with reach. This hand's unkeepable. This hand's a bit better. I'd keep it, just because we have Opt. Plaza of Heroes. I think I do just like keeping the tapper hidden until we actually need it. And then discard 2, untap 3 lands. There we go. So we go blue, green, red, blue 1, Calamax. We draw a card. Next turn, Holdout Settlement. Dink. Dink. Planar Genesis twice. Or I guess you do Harrow twice, huh? Dink. So additional cost, sack, forest. And then you go forest, forest, mountain, mountain, green, blue, planar Genesis. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put big score into our hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Big score, discarding Pongify. Draw 2, make 2 treasure tokens. Next turn, mountain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ulamog the Defiler. Sure. Kylox's Volt Strider is the best card in our deck. Do you know what it is in the best card in our deck? When we can't fucking cast it, dog. We didn't have red mana. You wanted me to keep that fucking gem in our hand until we can find the mana to cast it? It's worth nothing until you do. Trust me, I didn't got it from the deck. It's still in the deck. I know it's good. It's just like, you need to be able to cast your spells. Your greed will kill you. We did not have red mana available to us. Maybe the mana base sucks. I've already like repaired it a little bit, but we can definitely make it a little better for sure. And I'm probably going to end up doing that. I think Eden has to go. Here's the thing. I do think we need a large amount of basics. I think that large amount of basics can equal 9. Just because it's only really Harrow. And we have towns for this. So I think we can go down to 9 basics. Maybe even 8. But we can go up a few more lands here. Not sort mana value, sort USD. Okay. Yeah, I think I like the I like these ones because they're typed. And then I like these two because they're broken. Battle Bond lands on top. Yeah, cards like Harrow. We have Harrow, Intercessoration, Ellipses. Right? Like, we only have so many things that grab basics. We're fine. We'll be okay. Play test this card. This is super keepable. Hedge Maze Surveil 1. Top. Attack. Draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Put a land into play. We don't. 1, 2, 3. Put a land into play. And then we discard. Next turn. Here's Dark Depths. No steam vents. If you are going to zoom into every dual land and go like, why aren't you running this fixing land? It's 0.25% better. That's horrible content. That is horrible content. No one wants to watch me upset. Okay, some people want to watch me obsess over like percentage casting, but you can just eyeball it, dog. You can just eyeball it. I've noticed that this mana base is 0.67% unoptimized according to Snail's calculator. Fuck off. Peace and love, fuck off. Honestly, I'm having trouble thinking of other things I want to add to this deck. It's maybe Guardian Augmenter. Oh, Commander. Oh, hexproof. Commanders get +2/+2, get hexproof. Because, let's face it, everyone's shooting this fucker in the head. I would be. I think Thunderclap Drake maybe is just slightly worse than that. Like, I don't know. I haven't felt the... I was thinking, God, if only we had one cost reduction on these spells. I prefer cost reduction when we're spamming spells. Here, this is just Mother of Runes in green. And it's 40 cents. And it has flash, so you can hold up your instants if you have nothing better to do. It's like a fucking triple whammy that makes this card worth playing. Maybe Stubborn Denial is another similar card. It's similar to Bolt Bend. If you control Calamax as a 1-mana negate. Maybe Emeritus out. The instant speed, the fact that it has Brainstorm, or not Brainstorm, Ancestral Recall, and it's funny, but I don't know, we're fine. Oh, did you double check that these are Sunday's decks? Yes, they are Sunday's decks. I literally at the beginning of the stream was like, don't do the same shit where I do Tuesday's deck reviews on Sunday. That was a monumental slip up. That was very bad. It ended up working out perfectly fine, but that was a very funny mess up for sure. Okay, great. Yeah, honestly, I'm starting to think of other things. It's like maybe Sereth. Sereth is very similar to Guardian Augmenteer, where it gives Calamax hexproof, and then you can also untap Calamax to do it twice per turn cycle. That's kind of interesting and cool, I think. The fact that it is 4 mana and not 3 is a little scary, because Calamax is, 4. Sorry, I thought this deck would be funnier to witness. No, it's fine. I'm having a good time upgrading it. Imagine me getting a deck review for both Tuesday and Sunday. Wait, no, for real. Okay, maybe Echoing Truth out for Sereth. I like that Sereth can get you some biblical levels of greed where you can, like, tap Calamax to something and then untap him to Sereth and then tap him again to a different thing and then double triggers. And then until then, Sereth is just protecting your big dinosaur idiot, giving him hexproof, this, like, kill on sight commander. I like that. Draw, Lindblum, next turn. Command Tower, pass, next turn. There's Gene. Hi, Gene. So, Kylox's Volt Strider. Next turn, 1, 2, 3. We miss our land drop, which fucking sucks. Basic Lounder 10 card, type town. Let's get starting town. Next turn, Survivor's Encampment. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Commander. Gene. Or you can Pongify, depending on what the board looks like. Mistrise, we control a forest. Okay. And then here is where you go 1, 2, 3, Twinning Staff. Pass. And then you go, okay, Crew 2. 1, 2, 3. Triple Beast Within. Breeding Pool. I hate the Stormkiln Artist. Literally, like, there's not one moment where I'm like, oh, great, I have a Stormkiln Artist in my hand. It's the same mana value as Calamax. It's good on, like, turn, like, 5 through 7, depending what your hand looks like, because you can make, like, 2, 3 treasures whenever you copy an instant or sorcery. I guess that's okay. I mean, I would just rather have an instant, honestly. Type instant, search, library, forest. Like, is there something like this? Like an instant speed Sky Shroud claim? No. So what about basic? But we did just lower the basic land count, so... We could also go for like... Stormkiln is good. I'm not calling Stormkiln Artist a bad card in general. I'm referring, of course, to the deck. Its presence in the deck is not powerful. I'm not enjoying it. What if we did like give Eureka moment? Draw 2 cards, put a land. It's okay. No, I agree. Stormkiln Artist isn't insane here because he costs too much mana. Yeah. Or he costs as much mana as Max. Imagine putting good cards in your deck. I love putting good cards in my deck. Honestly, I'm cycling Manamorphose. I'm really scared I'm going to miss my land drop. I guess we do that next turn, huh? Okay, so Dink, 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 Training Center, Dink, Harrow, sack Exotic Orchard. I know there's the ceiling of Harrow with the commander, but I just... If we miss our land drop next turn, we die. We are dead. There's Calamax, Rejuvenating Springs, green, green 1. Tyvar. Tyvar, tap this. Pongify twice. I guess tap this now and then you go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, draw 2 cards. And then draw 2 cards. And then Forest. And then Exploration Blue Chip. And then... Okay, despite missing our land drops here, we're still, like, doing stuff by turn 7. Like, this isn't the ideal way to cast Emrakul, but beggars and choosers and stuff. Whatever they say. I know I didn't cast Emrakul, but... Yeah, Lessons from Life is a sorcery, which Calit's Max doesn't copy. I think this is about good to go, though. I'm feeling this list. Is there anything that feels like we're missing, everyone, though? Kona was a mistake. Kona's totally fair. On Balam Garden. AKA Command Beacon? What are my thoughts on Command Beacon? Can we... The transforming one. I see. Okay, I was like, oh my god. I think it sucks, but I think you're allowed to play cards that are bad in Commander. This card's not good. But it's funny, so that's all the reason to run it in Commander, in my opinion. And the floor's pretty high. It's a blue-green land. Anyway, thank you for getting deck review, Tony. All right, just back to Rack here. We have Sauron the Dark Lord. The deck is a generic Sauron deck with the package of Scorpion God, Scarab, and Locust God. I see that are 3 extra hidden commanders. No budget. As long as this deck is bracket 3, I'm fine, unless there's a way for it to explode early by putting the 3 gods from giving from some... Okay, okay. Yeah, no. I think if you're doing this, it's going to be pretty low bracket, generally speaking. The issue is that Scorpion and Scarab God kind of feel useless most of the time, and I don't know how to make it feel like they are part of the deck. Okay. We need Grixis Congregation at dawn. It exists. It's called Buried Alive. This is Grixis Congregation at dawn. Search for 3 creature cards and get them. They're going in the graveyard, but that makes them more. That makes this more Grixis than anything. Yes, yes. So, yes, you can get a deck review through the coffee. You can also watch on my weekly Tuesday and Sunday streams and earn channel points while doing so. And it's 45k channel points. And then we'll have a free deck review stream once or twice a month. and you can redeem 45k channel points during that free deck review stream to get your deck reviewed. Speaking of which, I'm planning on doing it maybe Wednesday next week for this month. I'm still trying to figure out when I'm most free. Yeah, anyway, Buried Alive is insane in this deck, right? We have 3 cards that you want to have fun with, and then you can just go and grab them. That's cool. So we're -1/-1 counter deck in Grixis. I have to believe there's a better card than Sauron for this, right? Do we need a primer written up when you redeem it? I mean, that would be nice. You don't need a primer written up for it, though. You can just have it. You can have the primer in the deck list. You can also just like tell me what you want the deck to do and what your issues are. I don't know, because you'll be present. You'll be able to guide me through it a little bit. Because I imagine we're not married to the commander here, by the way. Right. This is a rare moment where I'm going to use EDH Rec. I want to see what people typically do with -1/-1 counters. And it needs to be Grixis. I mean, most of these make sense. Dude, people are doing Reaper King -1/-1 counters? I guess, bro. I guess. I just want all 3 gods to work no matter the one I put on the field. Honestly, partners might be the answer, right? Do you know any applications of the card Braid of Fire? There's a billion. I could literally list... It would take the rest of the stream to list every single application that fucking card has. It's a lot. I'm just trying to think what commander is best supporting the gods. Because it might be Vile Smasher Sakashima. I could buy that's the correct combo. I mean, also, the other answer is... is like a nickel bolus. Because it's the scare... It's our devastation gods. And then nickel bolus. Electro? What? Yeah, let's make this a mono red Electro deck. What Electro? Is there a Grixis Electro that I don't know about? Nice, sounds really fun. Which one? No, I'm talking to the Braid of Fire guy. Okay. Fucking Christ. Because my other thought is just like, all right, we have a pretty big deck. I mean, Sauron's not a bad commander. I'm just trying to think of like other options we might have in the world, you know? Because right now it doesn't feel like Sauron's really doing anything that these guys care about. Whereas, like, you know, it'd be great fucking having 2 Scarab gods, or 2 whatever gods. Kefka. I mean, I guess. Yeah. It's Kefka. It's just a discard outlet in the command zone, man. If this was only for yourself, I would still be like, let's do it. Okay. Yeah, I think Kefka's it. So I don't really like Sauron. Whenever you draw a card, caring about graveyards, caring about -1/-1 counters. I'm not really into Wonder in my 3-color deck that maybe doesn't have the best spread of basic types. Same thing with Anger. Okay, anything that with the word amass on it is coming out of the deck. Because I think Kefka is the perfect way. How does Kefka combo with most of them? I think your best bet is turning into a Reanimator deck. Where these will go into your graveyard, and then you reanimate them for cheap, and then you still have mana to do things with them, like play synergy cards. Does that make sense? So I think becoming like a Buried Alive kind of Reanimator list is where we want to be. And this is also just a generically good advantage engine in addition to being a discard outlet. What about Ramos as the commander? That would be a lot of work to turn this into a 5-color deck, but it wouldn't be the worst thing. Second idea, we do Vial Smasher, Sakashima. Our deck is pretty expensive mana value-wise. Again, I don't like Contention that much. But, yeah. These are the ideas. Oh, wow. What's the other one? Non-human enters. Draw. Whenever another non-humans, you may draw a card if you do discard a card. So you have Sage of the Falls. That's another Wombo with Locust God. Run Victimize. Victimize returns 2 creatures in the graveyard of the battlefield, so you can do Locust God, Sage of Falls, or Mr. Fantastic. This plus Buried Alive. 4 blue's a lot of mana, though. We are a Reanimator deck! We're going to be a Reanimator deck! Wait! We're not casting any of our creatures! Anyway, nice calm stream today, everyone. I like Perf because it's a creature. I don't like the other one. In darkness, bind them. Create a 3/3 Black Wraith with Menace, the Ring Tempsu. This is okay. These were meant for... These fit the theme better with Sauron as the commander. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Wither and draw. Yeah, Massacre Girl wouldn't be bad. That'll probably do. I still have no idea. The other two... Okay, Locust God has these 2 cards. Scorpion God works really well with just all the -1 counter stuff you're running. In fact, Black Sun's Zenith. There's just a lot of really high ceiling -1/-1 counters cards like this. right? So Scorpion God works with all the negative one counter stuff, and then Scarab God's great with discarding, like Kefka. So Kefka makes everyone discard, and then you Scarab God reanimate whatever you need out of there. I do not like Ring Sight, and it's also just better thematically for the previous commander. Okay, so we have a bunch of slots to play around with to make them better. Also, I'm going to take out one ring. It's just boring. Orcish Bowmaster becomes slightly worse now that we don't have... although it does work with... Massacre Girl in a fun way. So I think actually I like that a little bit better than you would normally. Okay, we have a lot of swamps. Okay. Sort USD type land ID 2. I just want to get the mana looks a little clunky here, and before I get playtesting, I just know how it's gonna feel. Okay. Throw in Toxrill. Toxrill doesn't do -1/-1 counters though. It doesn't work with Scorpion God. So we have Memory Jar, and this is close to the right idea. I think we just do some amount of wheeling. Not Wheel of Fortune per se, but like Windfall. Windfall would be good. Perplex now. Oh, Windfall's already in. So Perplex in to get Windfall or to get Buried Alive. And I think just more things that say discard hands, because this fills the graveyard for Scarab God. It draws for Locust God. And it doesn't do anything with Scorpion God, but Scorpion God has the rest of the deck to play around with -1/-1 counters. So we can do O: discard, O draw, O tag wheel. So this is specifically wheels that discard. It's like Ancient Excavations of land, kind of. Discard your hand, then draw a card for each card you've discarded this turn. And these work well with Locust God is all. And we have actual wheel. Okay, great. That works fine. So, 9 more slots to play around with. Faith is looting. Frantic Search. Commander. We have Kefka. Whoops. That out. This doesn't really... This only works with Locust God. It's funny with Locust God, but it's not like the best thing ever. What about Grim Servant and Grave Researcher? I do not like Grave Researcher. Grave Researcher seems a little slow. Grim Servant, I like a little more. Especially since I think putting Entomb Reanimate in alongside that would be very good. And then we can do something like... I want multiple 2-for-1 reanimation spells. So Technique, the black one. Incarnation Technique. Right, this can reanimate 2 things. Victimize reanimates 2 things. Patriarch's Bidding reanimates 3 things. If you put all the gods into the graveyard with Buried Alive, this gets back all of them, which is really funny. With Patriarch's Bidding or any other one-sided kind of thing, and in fact, this might be a Living Death deck. Living Death. You want to add Bogart, Trawler, and Bojuka Bog. Because we're symmetrically discarding, we're symmetrically, you know, wheeling, and then we're going to cast Living Death. No. We need to have Grave Hate to bridge that. So maybe we want to do something like Urza's Cave, for instance. Espers to Magicite. Yeah, this card's fine. Each opponent's graveyard. Yeah, it's pretty great. Sure. You can run Big Kefka, too. This Big Kefka would be actually pretty decent in this deck. At the beginning of your end step, exile a card at random from each opponent's graveyard. You may cast any number of spells from among cards exiled this way without paying their mana costs. Cool. That's fun. Scarab God's also technically grave hate. That's true. That's true. Yes, absolutely. So now we have a lot of different angles to kind of win the game, and we're kind of very controlling in that method, in that way, rather. You could do, like, Void Object, MV4. Leyline of the Void. Douthy Voidwalker. Right, just preempt the graveyard entirely for your opponents. And then you could do Web of Inertia stuff. Think about it. I think that might be a bit much. We can keep the Douthy Voidwalker. I think this one is like a little much, though. What's your thoughts on Rule Break, Elk? I don't have a strong opinion on it. Are there people who are like, oh my god, the sky is falling, Rule Break, everything's ruined forever, no, Commander, no! Are there people like that right now, or is it fine? I think it's just fine, right? It's like, cool. New mechanic, I think it's interesting. You can do cool things with that. I mean, I imagine there are people acting like that. Anytime anything happens, someone acts like that. Yeah, no, for real. I think part of it's how the mechanic is named. If the mechanic was named like tag team, something stupid. I don't know. If it was anything other than Rule Breaker, no one would care. Yawgmoth is in, right? Nobody should be. Yawgmoth is a fun way to bridge the gap between Locust God and Scorpion God, which I like. Why even have the distinction of Acorn Seals and then print shit like that? Because Acorn Seals don't work in the game and Rule Breaker does. Everlasting Torment? It's okay. I think Massacre Girl just has the higher floor of those, but it's not an insane idea. I think instead of Blasphemous Act, we should be on Toxic Deluge. Toxic Deluge just works better with Perplex. We're already on Toxic Deluge. I could buy the Blasphemous Act. It's pretty good then. It's just like, also, I don't know if we need another board wipe because Living Death is kind of a board wipe in a lot of situations. Yeah, I don't think Rule Breaker is a big deal, and I think anyone making a big deal out of it is just not that smart. No, they finally crossed the line. I know I've said this 50 other times that they've crossed the line and I'm hanging up the hat, but they've really done it now. They added a mechanic that makes the game different. Fuck off. Seriously, it's nothing. Archfiend of Ifnir? Yeah, that's pretty good, isn't it? Oh, is Archfiend of Ifnir already in? Yeah. Black Sun Zenith. Yeah, that was one of my first inclusions. Should we put Blow 5? Oh, we cut Blow 5 because of combo. Is this a combo with Yogg? Because you sack one of the insects, you put a one negative counter on the other one. That one dies, you get one back. Yeah, no, that's not. This isn't a combo with Yogg, is it? I don't think it is. People are just looking to be outraged, man. And it's like something I used to do all the time, and it's just so much easier when you let go. Just enjoy things, dude. It's really not that big of a deal. When you see the fucking cyclical nature of how the drama works, you're just so over it. How do I get my deck reviewed? So you can go through the coffee, which is here. Or you can, if you don't want to do the coffee route, that's fine. I understand. We're in a recession. Then we can, if you watch for long enough and get 45k channel points, we have a free deck review stream monthly that you can cash in 45k channel points for a free deck review. Sometimes we do it twice a month. I say sometimes, like, we have done that before, but, like, we've only done it for 1 month, the new system. So once or twice a month, there will be a free deck review stream. That's what I'm getting at. Nimbleheim of Flame. I could buy it. That card is pretty good. Target creature you control deals damage equals power to each other creature, and then if the spell is cast from the graveyard, you discard your hand and draw 4. Pretty cool. I would keep this hand. This hand looks really fun. Draw. Crumbling Necropolis. Next turn. Island. Next turn. Ew, Reliquary Tower. We'll have to cut that. I don't like this in your 3-color deck that cares about discarding now that we're a Reanimator deck. Black. Cast. Entomb. Get the... Yeah, the Locust God. No, not the Locust God. Sorry, the Scarab God. Scab. Next turn. This turn you go Luxury Suite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kefka. Discard Locust God. Maybe draw 2 cards. Next turn. Dragon Skull Summit. We do not control a mountain or an island or a swamp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Incarnation Technique. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Return Mr. Fantastic Reed Richards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Return the Locust God. Attack with Kefka. Draw 2 cards. Make 2 insects. 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 Probably stop there. Didn't we not want to combo? This was already in the deck, dog. You think I know what Mr. Fantastic Reed Richards does? No. Anyway, playtest. Honestly, yeah. We could tap not like a moron there, honestly. Okay, Festering Mummy I think is a little middling, but here it's going to look pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yaggers. Sack Festering Mummy. Put a -1/-1 counter on the thing. Put another -1/-1 counter on that thing. That thing dies. Oh, look, it had 0 less toughness. We draw a card. Oh, look, it had a counter on it. We draw a card. Like, that's cool. Okay, Toxic Deluge, X equals 1 billion. Oh my gosh, everything has toughness 1 or less. Draw 1 billion cards. And like we would have discarded here, but you then go this turn. You go dink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Living Death. Oh, all the things you just played out, they suck. Welcome to hell. And then you get your board back, which also interacts with their board because Yawgmoth, lol. You can get rid of some of the more scarier things. Turning this into a Living Death deck was pretty good. So there was a Scarab God game, or there's a Scorpion God game. We had a Locust God game. Scarab God's just naturally high floor. I think the Festering Mummy's a little bit just like, okay. We can probably just find better -1/-1 counter cards than these. Orcus Machine. Orcus Medicine, I see. It feels like a holdover. It is. Return 1, 2, or 3 target creature cards from graveyards onto the battlefield under control, and each of them has a -1 negative. Isn't this like just perfect for this deck? That's insane. Blight Rot's fine. Contagion Gas and Engine are just too slow in my opinion, by the way. You could do Darkness Descends. It probably wouldn't be that bad. I mean, just pick up a copy. It's cheap, even if I don't recommend it right now. Cool. I mean, if you're Deadlands, there's a super high floor. Lockmare's kind of cool. How many instants do we run for Nightmare Sower? Not many. Off-nabbed Goat is okay. I do like the fucking Persistent Constrictor quite a bit. Enters or attacks put a -1/-1 counter on target creature, and then they can't block. That's kind of cool. It's high floor. It's expensive, but it's high floor. Expensive in terms of United States dollars, but it's pretty okay. Okay. I think I can see a world where Darkness Descends belongs in this deck. Yeah, I mean, it's a good card. Blight Rot's just funny with Necroskitter. I think this is just... I think it's pretty funny. I wish this put 5 -1/-1 counters on a creature. That might be a little bit too much, but I think 5 is just such a nice breakpoint to have. Play Dust. Discard. Yes, I'd keep this. Draw. Release Fire Verge. Next turn. Steam Vents. Please with the God draw land. Nope, we lose. Yay! And then you Necroskitter. And then you Blight Rot something and steal it. Awesome. That did nothing. By the way, that's not really the deck's fault. We have 40 lands and also an Ancient Excavation. You could maybe cut a island and then go up like another thing, in fact, because we have Ancient Excavation, which is kind of like a land. Is the D&D homebrew redeem only for 5e? Yeah, basically. If you want like the best advice on it, but also I just haven't been doing D&D streams recently because honestly, no one shows up. I don't know. It's just not the same market as Magic the Gathering. It is a cost-benefit analysis I made. As much as I do like D&D and like hanging out and stuff, honestly, I might restructure it someday, where it's like I prep D&D and every so often you're able to like send in requests for homebrew review or whatever, right? So can still monetize this a little bit better, and then there's always something going on where I'm explaining my thoughts and like how I'm like prepping stuff and like coming up with things with chat. So there's that engagement angle, and then there's also the, you know, getting your homebrew reviewed. Blowfly Infestation would also be nice. Yeah. Yeah. We could just run Blowfly. I don't know. I don't personally, as a person, I do not see the appeal of getting a D&D character reviewed, because that is more personal than a commander deck, in my opinion. Commander decks, you can talk about things being good or bad. D&D characters are not like that in the slightest. It really is just something that eludes my thought process. If that makes any sense. Here, we'll Faithless Looting first. Draw 2, discard 2. Live Windfall. And then each player discards a card, and then we'll draw like 2, probably. Next turn. Yeah, functionality of a D&D character does not matter. That's entirely true. And there's also like a system kind of question, like what are you playing? I don't know every system that well, whereas Magic the Gathering is just a game. So being like, it's 5e only is like kind of lame, let's be real. Anyway, we'll perplex for wheel. I guess we perplex for buried alive, huh? Or victimize? Okay, I've landed on victimize as being the correct answer. Anyway, move to combat. Each player discards a card. Oh my gosh, we draw 2 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grim Servant, Entomb, cast Entomb, get Locust God. And then next turn, Sulphur Springs, 1, 2, 3. Victimize, sacking Grim Servant, targeting Locust God, Mr. Fantastic. If someone has a response to that, you're able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, aberrant return, and you can return these. Oh, well, like I guess you would have sacked the creature as part of the resolution. So, like, if someone counterspelled it, for instance, you're able to just return these 3, and then still combo off. I mean, yeah, this is feeling good. It's doing everything we want. We had a game. We've already proven the Scorpion God has a line in this deck that's kind of fun with all the -1, -1 counter stuffs. We have the Locust God combo. Scarab God hasn't come out that much, but it's mostly just because this is a slower, grindier card that you will feel be good. Oh, Jesus, I can't speak English. That you'll feel like decent about when your Scorpion God's answered, when your Locust God is answered, right? Like your first 2 like trying to win turns are answered. This slower object is going to be nice. Yeah, that's the end of my thought, really. I think it's about good to go in terms of like meshing all 3 of these together in one deck and having none kind of feel like an outlier. Is Kolrath Knight viable? 5 mana is a lot of mana for a card. And I know we're not really casting our creatures because we're kind of a reanimator deck stuff. I just think I don't know. We have the spitting dinosaur idiot. Like, this is already okay. Your creature can't block. This Kefka card's kind of good. I know, right? Kefka's stupid. It just does everything. Anyway, thank you for getting a deck review. Moving on, we have Unreclusive. Is Unreclusive in here? Oh, nice. I've managed to do this. There we go. Yeah, I do think Kefka's a better glue card than Sauron. Anyway, we have Cloud for Unreclusive. I see the Colossus Hammer. Unreclusive is here, right? Hi. Okay, yes, you are here. Hello. This deck is designed around Brightglass Gearhulk. Hell yeah. I want to be able to get it in play by latest turn 5. Tutor up a lot of 1-mana spells, notably Mother of Runes, Colossus Hammer, Doc Ock's Tentacles. The Commander Cloud is meant as a finisher. The rest of the tutors and creatures are meant to give Cloud problematic keywords and make him relatively untouchable after he's played. Keep it in bracket 3, any budget. Also, the deck is Selesnya, but has red. So besides Deflecting Swat, I'm not attached to any red cards in the deck. Would you just want to be a Selesnya deck? Because I think there are lanes to doing that. I don't know. I think Cloud's fine, though. And there's not a better way to do Colossus Hammer, per se. Well, or at least red helps Colossus Hammer quite a bit. That's what I mean to say. I'm wanting a bit more of a stacks element because of white. Not sure if there's any specific ones that could work well. Yeah, Cloud's instant equip is very nice. I mean, you just have Nazan in Selesnya. Nazan's also an instant equip commander I don't know what his name is. Nizan, revered bladesmith. When it enters, search for your library for an equipment, reveal it. If you find Hammer of Nizan this way, put it on the battlefield, and then Hammer of Nizan auto equips. And then it gives the thing indestructible and +2/+0. And so everything that instant equips is right. Like, let's look at what Hammer of Nizan does, and you can see the idea here. Whenever this or another equipment you control enters, you may attach an equipment you control to that creature. +2/+0 indestructible. Right, so there's a lot of things that instant equip. There's a partner that equips, really? Oh, yeah, no, the Arden. I think let's stick with Cloud. Yeah, totally fine. Cloud is perfectly great. 32 lands is not perfectly great. We're a low curve deck, but 32, holy shit. Keep in mind, I used to play Luris as a commander. And even I didn't go that low for Luris. Where the fuck is my Luris deck? It's in retired. Yeah. Oh, I did run 32. Look at that. This is a Luris deck. My curve ends... Oh, I guess it has a 6-drop in it. Because Bowls of Citadel's here, because it's broken in this low curve deck. My curve caps at 4. I've tested it. 32 is fine. Dog. You have analyzed the pollen. That's +1. I guess you're also pretty low curve. Your curve's a lot higher than me, though. If you want my opinion, maybe we'd like go down these more expensive cards. Turn target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield and return 2 or equip. I see. I didn't recognize it because it wasn't this art. Doomscar. Like, Doomscar can go. That can be Mizium Orders. Or Winds of Abandon, even. Yeah, like we have Analyze the Pollen for non-land lands. That's one. What's the other one? Are you, like... You don't have Recruit of the Guard for Witch Enchanter, and even that's, like, mid. Okay, this is one of the worst Magic the Gathering cards ever. I am so mad about Rebuff the Wicked. This card sucks. In what world is Rebuff the Wicked better than Blacksmith Skill? Like, Rebuff doesn't deserve to be a $7, $5 card, you know what I mean? Blacksmith Skill is just so much better. It stops the spell entirely. So does Blacksmith Skill. If someone has Destroy Target Creature Surveil 2, you Blacksmith Skill it, it gets hexproof and indestructible. It fizzles their spell. And then this also works against board wipes. There's one card that matters about this, and it's like Decimate or like, you know, like things that target multiple things that you control. And even then, that's not that bad, because Decimate sometimes it spreads out to your opponent's objects. This just stops it hitting from your object that's targeted. So it's not even always better against Casualties of War or Decimate. Archetype of Courage just seems so low impact. I don't like Codsworth. We already have the free equip here in the command zone. Why are we worrying about this? Danitha, I'm not a big fan of. Especially with so few artifacts. Yeah, or great news. We're cost reducing like 3 things with these cost reducers. Equipment costs less. Equip abilities cost less. We're cheating. We're cheating. Let us cheat. is fine. No Sunforger. Not every red-white equipment deck needs to turn into Sunforger. If anything, I consider Sunforger like not an equipment deck. Sunforger's its like own thing. I don't like Hojo. I'm gonna fuck him with the rest of this. Okay, number 1, Spore Frog. Not Spore Frog, sorry. I meant Haywire Mite. So Haywire Mite in. It's nice to have removal up here in your 1-drop slots. You can also do what is it called? Giant Killer. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. And then it's a tapper. Nyxborn Hydra. Insidious Fungus. Insidious Fungus is good. I think a 1-drop evasive equipment would be very nice. Same thing that gives trample. Only creatures with power 3 or greater. Great news. Cloud is that. Has +3/+0 has trample. I think trample is the best word. You can do Shadow Spear too. Let me know if Shadow Spear is too expensive at $20, but I do think it's worth it if you want to run 1-drops to tutor up with Bright Glass. There's also just kind of a free ball you can run in here with Voyager Staff. This just makes Bright Glass Gear Hulk more efficient if you have time. Because you go Bright Glass Gear Hulk, get Voyager Staff, get another 1-drop. Voyager Staff Flicker turns into 2 more 1-drops, right? This is a +1 on that. Can a land search for an MDFC? No. Any budget works. Okay, great. And then I think I just want to get like 1 more land in here, and I'll play test it with a low amount of lands. But I'm hesitant to say that I'm gonna enjoy it. I think you will be better with more lands and more acceleration. Let's do like type land is MDFC. I mean, you could just do like Kabira Takedown, Shajiri Shelter. I think I like Shajiri Shelter the most. Oh, it's already in. My fault. What if we did Fight Spell, Sorcery Speed, the Bridgeworks Battle? Sounds good to me. All right, let's play test. Okay, this looks fine. Temple Garden, analyze the pollen, get Forest. Next turn, Forest, 1/2 Fanatic. Next turn, Overgrown Farmland, 1 Voyager Staff, white green on your end step. Go it because we didn't need a Shajiri Shelter or Fanatic. Get Bright Glass Gear Hulk. And then this turn is, I guess we didn't need to do Overgrown Farmland, right? Last turn, because last turn we went, yeah, we could have done a tap land last turn. That was probably more apt. And then this turn you go Overgrown Farmland, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bright Glass Gear Hulk. Retrieve 2 mana value 1 objects. Better, not so the truth to me, no better. Okay, so you get Colossus Hammer. Doc Ox Tentacles. Flicker Bright Glass Gear Hulk. Zach Fair. Like, isn't that just insane? You have 2 floating mana here. Dink, dink. Next turn. So we don't have red mana. And here's my thinking. Instead of getting Zach Fair here, imagine if we had a 1 mana value artifact that searched for a basic. Right? MB equals 1, O, search, O, basic. And like a T artifact. Like Fountain Port Bell. When this artifact enters, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle, put it on top, and then sack this artifact, draw a card. So for 2 mana, you're able to, you know, you can set up your mana for next turn and then also loot right into it right away. Wayfarer's Bubble, that ramps. I'm more of just like what you know, Land Cycler is what I'm interested in more than anything. I guess that turn, well, you couldn't have done it with green mana because keep in mind we're doing this off of floating mana from Fnatic from having the Bright Glass Gearhulk in play. So like getting something like a Weathered Wayfarer wouldn't work, but I do think Fountain Port Bell is the answer. Expedition Map is a banger. Yeah, absolutely. It's just this one's cheaper. It's only 2 mana to activate, which would have been exactly what we needed that turn. On top is rough. You sack it to draw a card. It's 2 mana to get it immediately. Guys, there's reasons why I'm not putting an Expedition Map here. There's a reason this is working. Like this one works best here. And that's not me calling any of these other cards bad, by the way. Okay, I really just don't like these free equippers the more I think about it. Just because Cloud already free equips 1 equipment. So it's just like, let's just free equip that 1 equipment. We have Zach Fair. That's what we tutor for. I guess you can do Sigarda's Aid. Sigarda's Aid is fine. The more I think about it, but... Land Tax. Actually, that's really good. Yeah, I think you just can't pass up on Land Tax. It's kind of cool. Alright, let's play test. Discard. Okay, drop. Your lands are very responsible, and I love that. Dink, dink, Eladamri's Carl. Get Bright Glass Gearhulk. Next turn, Overgrown Farmland, 1/2, Cloud. Type Equipment. Boop. And then next turn, Dink, Bright Glass. Get Land Tax. You only need once. I don't ever see the need to use it more than once. Okay, you don't see the. Okay, great. We only use it once in a game. Yeah, exactly. We're fine. Like we don't. You're agreeing with me. I see. Let's get Soul Ring. Oh, Naginata? Alright, I guess you need Colossus Hammer, don't you? I guess you get this is a moment where you do get Voyager Staff. Okay. Those go to hand. You protect the Bright Glass Gearhulk. Next turn. Okay, land, Soul Ring, Voyager Staff, Flicker, Bright Glass Gearhulk. Colossus Hammer, Shadow Spear. Pass. And then you go like Dawn Charm, protect your thing. Next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cloud. 1, 2. Colossus Hammer, Shadow Spear. This gets auto-equipped. Move to combat, attach Colossus Hammer, swing out a billion at you. Next turn, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Swing, equip Shadow Spear automatically. So now it is a Trampler. It is a Trampler and a Lifelinker. These both do the same thing. Colossus Hammer. In fact, maybe we don't run Behemoth Sludge just because it does the same thing as a thing you can tutor for. Like, imagine that was just like Fire Shrieker, right? When Cloud enters... Oh, it's not when it attacks, I see. Yeah, that does make it a little bit more awkward, but still it's fine. Like, imagine if we had, like, Arden Selesnya Commander. Is there even a Selesnya partner? Oh, no, it's not Selesnya. It'd be, we need a red-green. It would be Tana. Because, like, so I'm just putting this in considering. I'm not swapping out the commander. But if you had Tana plus Argan, this does a very similar thing to Cloud. Just something to think about. Yeah, we can do, like, Fire Shrieker, I think. Or Battle Axe. Two-handed axe. Whenever equipped creature attached, doubles power until end of turn, which doubles with the Spear of Leonidas double strike. And then this also just can give something double strike. Honestly, Ardent in the deck is still just good. It's okay. Tana gives you fodder for a Skull Clamp, yeah. But anyway, I think Cloud's totally fine as well. Okay, this is looking really nice. I'm curious what everyone thinks we should add to this deck. Because we have 34-ish lands. 35 if you count Weathered Wayfarer, which is good enough for this kind of low curve deck. Like, literally, the deck is pretty low curve. I've come around on the land count, especially since we just added a couple. And land tax also kind of counts. So I think this works out. How resilient is it to removal? Not at all, but we have Mother of Runes. We have Ellipses, stupid fucking Guardian Augmenteer, Bastion Protector. So I think we're fine. We're more than fine. Swordsman Steel. Enters, draw a card for each equipment you control, gets +2/+2 for each equipment you control. Great. This would be awesome if he didn't run like 6 equipment. Yeah, we have like 10 equipment in the deck. That's like not enough, I think. It'll draw like 2 to 3 cards. That's okay. Hajar. Hajar's fine. It's just we have so many things at 1 mana value we can just tutor up with the Bregletzker Hulk. That's like, I don't know. I'd prefer like a Selfless Spirit, or like a Selfless Savior rather. And in fact, Selfless Spirit too. Selfless Spirit is also better than Hajar. So there's a lot of things I'd run before that. Yeah, we aren't running many equipment. We just have a bunch of like one kind of equipment things that matter. I think big score out. We're not ramping in anything big. Clever Concealment out. I like Mother of Runes better. Flare of Fortitude better. We're not going that wide. Chord out. Thrill of Possibility out. I don't like the card selection. So we made it some slots. Here are some thoughts. Selfless Savior. Welding Jar. You could run Skull Clamp, but I don't know. I think that turns us into kind of a different deck. Legion Leadership. Sundering Eruption is okay, but I don't like a land that only taps for red. It's basically like a colorless land. One more slot to play around with, then. Yeah, we're already playing Bulk Up and Legion Leadership should have been in yesterday. Maybe just Mizium Orders. And then we're good to go. Feels pretty good. More protection, resilience. We have all the protection in the world that we ever need. It's fun. This deck's gonna do fine. Fling. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be that bad. Like Azul's Fury. Anyway, thank you for getting a deck review. I believe this is set. Thank you so much. No, thank you for getting a deck review. All right, last deck review of the day here. We have ourselves Audric, Eater of Virtue. Okay, this is sweet. I'm happy we saved this one for last. This is a second win for me. Mono white keywords. The idea of this deck is to get Eater of Virtue and have at least 3 keywords on it before turn 5 and trying to get as many on it and then equipping to Audric and then doing a bunch of stupid shit. No budget restriction. You can move whatever you want. Even the commander, as long as Eater of Virtue is the main focus. Yeah, sure thing. Eater of Virtue feels like it's a win more card. It is. There's nothing you can do about that. Okay, Refurbish. Awful card. Awful, awful. No way is that good. Unless we're like Artifact Reanimator, which we are not. Phyrexian Altar, I'm not a big fan of. But there's like only so many ways to like sack things in mono white, isn't there? I think Champion's Helm can... Champion's Helm gives a keyword, but Ashnod's Altar, the very base. I like Phyrexian Altar more than Ashnod's Altar. Pearl. Sure. Sure. So I think Fanatical Devotion is the first thing I'd add. Sack a creature, regenerate a creature. That's something. Whenever you gain life, you may pay due if you do draw a card. There's way better ways to draw cards in white, including Chivalric Alliance. Okay, let me make sure that you have all the usual suspects. Lone Rider. Mom, Ocelot Pride. Dorn Pouncer. Don't know if I like the squad here. Celestine seems a little slow, although she has multiple keywords that are kind of nice. Put on the battlefield and shuffle. There's way better ways to tutor this object up than that. Okay, I'm liking every other card here. So, we already have Cloud. We already have Stoneforge Mystic. We already have Steel Shaper's Gift. I do think we should have a Lion Sash. Just being able to get Graveyard Hate with your equipment tutors is kind of nice. Enlightened Tutor. So yeah, we have more than enough ways to get Eater of Virtue, for sure. But the Dagger, have them organized somewhat. I trust me when I say I believe you when you say Steel Shaper's Gift is for Eater of Virtue. I believe you. I don't know if I need a tag for that. Sentinel Mom. Super Adaptoid. Hang on. That's a real card name. That's so cool. This is okay. It's okay. Okay. You can steal opposing keywords. Sure. We can run it. Crystalline Giant, but Marvel. True. We could run Crystalline Giant as well. I like both of those objects. Those are both funny. I already see we have Windbrisk Kites. That means we're going wide. Personally, that means I love Fellium. I love Flicker Wisp. I love Doll Maker's Shop. Cut of Plains for a Maria's Call. And we also have all these huge drops up here. So Windbrisk Kites also goes with Collector Cage. Everyone, do not forget about Collector's Cage. So Hideaway 5, and then you can put a counter on a creature. If you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, you can cast the thing for free. Windbrisk Kites, if you attack with 3 or more creatures, you can get to cast the thing for 3. Fellia can reset the Collector's Cage,
and Flicker Wisp can reset either one of them. Is 35 lands good enough? I think it's a little low. We're on the low end, but we have land tax, so that's +1 land. So our curve's pretty high. I'm gonna actually say no. It's probably not actually high enough, just because of how like many cards there are up here. It's okay. The space, it just vigilance isn't that strong of a word in my opinion. Return target artifact or enchantment from the graveyard to the battlefield. Listen, if Eater of Virtue gets blown up, just it's okay. Get it next game. It's fine. It's just I don't think we're that, or at least maybe instead of Emeria, run Buried Ruin. Right, just run a land that does it. Just run a land that gets it back, right? You don't got to do all this. Like, we can run Urza's Cave. This is a great way to cheat when Briskite's into play. Right? My Virtue. Yeah, you know, it's in the deck. If it's really priority number 1 and it gets blown up, then whatever. You know, go next. It's fine. Get Buried Ruin with Urza's Cave. Flagstones of Trocaire, White Orchid Phantasm. Or Phantom? I do like that, yeah. White Orchid Phantom in, and then we can do Flagstones. So, in the hands... okay, hang on. This is just good removal. You can remove, like, shitty, like, Field of the Deads and stuff. But if you draw Flagstones of Trocaire, you're able to blow it up with a White Orchid Phantom and then ramp, which is kind of cool. I'm fucking with all the other lands here, including the max speed ones. Those are kind of funny. And then we can playtest this. I'd keep this hand. This is a perfectly serviceable hand. Dink. Shadow Spear. Next turn. Plains. Arcane Signet. Steel Shaper's Gift for Eater. Dink. White, 1. Dink, dink, dink. Next turn. So, like, we're missing land drops here, and that's kind of bad. Draw. I mean, I guess you go this first. Oh, no, you can't go that first. And you can ramp here, but that's not the same. I'd like to get this number up to at least 40, I think, even with the land tax. I think Cloud's a little middling. A Catcher Monument is just fine. Does help you go wide. But so does just playing creatures on curve. Yeah. Eagles of the North is a land cycler. I don't like that idea. And the reason is because whenever I run those land cyclers, it's typically for like collect evidence or like other graveyard stuff. Oh wow, this hand's only colorless actually. We can't keep this. Okay, this is keepable. Draw. Plains Steel Shaper's Gift for Eater. Next turn. Tapped Hall of the Bandit Lord. Next turn. Plains. Woyak Lady. Hit you. We get like a clue or two because we've played 2 cards. Iganjo. 1, 2. I guess equip 1. 1 Shadow Spear. 1, 2. Equip it. And now we have a 4 or 5/5 lifelinker swinging. Gain the life back that we've lost from the hall. Next turn, Buried Ruin. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Commander. And then you... Damn, this art is fucking sexy, dude. Holy shit. Anyway, swing. Vigilance, Flying, Lifelink, Haste. Does this give it haste permanently? That creature has haste. Yeah, it has haste forever. These two. Okay, here we go. 1/2. Chivalric Alliance. Plains, crack a clue, draw a card. Plains. Swing with both of these creatures. Great news, that draws you a card from this. Great, and then you can go 1/2, dink, draw a card. Next turn. And this turn you attack again first. Murgon to Raceway. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Heliod for Indestructible. And then this for Indestructible. I mean, the Eater isn't coming up that much. But that's like just a mono white kind of issue. Yeah, so the 45k channel point redeem persistent variant is just going to be once or twice a month on like a separate stream. I just typically find that doing more than 6 deck reviews in a single stream, I'll just gas out, and no one wants to have like me not being super excited to review their deck at the end of like a long stream. It's just like it's a lot better if it's just its own separate stream. So that's where those have went. I do not like Jolted Awake that much. Most of our creatures aren't 2 or less. I know it returns Eater of Virtue, but O-Tag, Sacrifice, Outlet, Repeatable. All I want is for Virtue to be good. Yes, I'm working on it. Sack a token. You could do dissection tools. This is something. Death Touch, Lifelink, equip, sack a creature. So this is a 5-mana 4/4 with Death Touch, Lifelink because of how Manifest Dread works. And then equip, sack a creature. And that's also a sacrifice outlet. And it's also an equipment, which you can get with all of your equipment stuff. And it's also a sack outlet. That's like the perfect bridge of everything you want. And I mean, by the way, Eater of Virtue's already good because if you have this shit equipped to a Sire of 7 Death and they blow it up, it saves the keywords. It's like a keyword Ozolith, if you think about it. So that's just kind of inherently good. You don't need like ways to sacrifice creatures necessarily to make that awesome. This turns Adeline, and then you go swing with Adeline. You get a bunch of 1/1s. And then you can also use those 1/1s for Fanatical Devotion to regenerate Adeline. Think. And then you haven't played a land this turn, so the first Plains is free, and then you go Plains, and then you go into Comet Swing. Okay, Windbrisk Kites. Hideaway 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get a Marius Call underneath there. And you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yay, Vigilance. With regeneration available. Okay. And then this turn you can go Dink. 1, 2, 3, 4. Heliod. Combat Swing. Amarius Call during combat. Make 2 4/4 Angel Warriors. Ta-da! And you can Sire of 7 Deaths this turn and just explode everyone. Like, this feels great! This feels awesome. Damn, these printings are so expensive now. How do you feel about Redain? Redain's okay. I like Redain's combo with Gisela Bruna. It's also just a fine card with it slows down board wipes, which is one of the deadly things versus you. Also, flying. Flying is a very strong word, especially for Odric.
So I'm thinking, okay, we have enough lands now. Instead of land tax, what if we did... Duty Beyond Death. As initial spell cost to cast the spell, sack a creature. Creatures you control get +1/+1 indestructible until end of turn. It's another little sack outlet object. And with all the equipment tutoring, dissection tools, this is another way to do it, and hooray. Anyway, the reason why we added Doll Maker Shop, by the way, is it helps with the Windward Kites. It helps with the Collector's Cage, but also it's a good thing to cheat off of both of those things, right? Like free casting the 6-drop side is insane. And then we have all these things up here. So more hideaway cards in this mono white deck, I think, makes it a lot more consistent. Eater had got a couple more sacrifice cards, including one you can tutor up with the equipment stuff. Yeah, overall, I think this is great. Don't forget there's a Crystalline Giant website. I think it's literally crystallinegiant.com. No, it is not. Don't listen to me. Crystalline Giant. Here we go. Roll. Hexproof. There you go. You can keep track of this. Just leave your phone on top of the Crystalline Giant. All right. Anyway, I think this is about good to go. I like looking at a nice mono white deck every single time. No questions asked. I love mono white. And this one's pretty good. Not gonna lie. I'm pretty impressed with how this one looks. My only thought is maybe Starfield Shepherd can get Mom. That's pretty strong. You run it over a plane since it can also get a plains if you're going to miss your land drop. And then that also makes you able to run Ornithopter or like another 1 mana value thing that has like flying. You could also run like Hope of Girapur. And Hope of Girapur is not only a silence that stops the counter player from countering your next play, but it also, since it sacrifices itself and has flying, that's really good with Eater of Virtue. And like if you have Shadow Spear also on it, like that doesn't feel bad. Yeah, Selfless Spirit should probably be in too. Same reason. It's a flying thing that can sacrifice itself. In fact, I maybe like that even more than Duty Beyond Death. So yeah, Selfless Spirit in with flying. And then out with Duty Beyond Death. And then out with one more card. Hexproof and Indestructible are two really fucking good words. Achroma works well with the hideaway stuff. Maybe it's just Heliod. Vigilance isn't that strong. Indestructible is, but Oketra and etc. and stuff and things. You already have a bunch of indestructible objects in here. Yeah, I think that's correct. Anyway, Hope of Girapur now, and then you have Starfield Shepherd to go tutor up any one of those. And yeah, this feels good. Also, Starfield Shepherd's kind of fun to cheat off hideaway. Because it's just a big 5-mana angel. All right, great. Thank you so much for getting a deck review. I think this one actually came out very good. I'm happy. Okay, but that does it for the stream, everyone. YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. Check the description below if you want to get your deck reviewed.